Hello and welcome everyone to Cybercast episode 301, the Transformer and Action Figure Podcast Show. My name is Hex, and I'm joined with Shatrdglassjazz, also known as Rick over here. I believe Sport's going to be joining us. He's probably just running late, like always, but I think that's all we're going to have for the show. We are going to do our top 20 figures of 2021. And as you know, at least, Rick and I, Sport 2s, collect all kinds of lines. So they're not just going to be Transformers or just GI Joe. You're going to see a mixed bag of a lot of things in there. Don't have Instagram shout out for tonight just because we have the big 20 figures of 2021 that we're going to be showing off. So we'll do that another time. We still do collection spotlight whenever you guys want to send one in. If you're new to the show, what that basically is if you've got a small collection, you're just starting out, you got a larger collection, however many pictures you need to take to represent your collection, take those and send them in an email to me at g1hexatron@gmail.com. If you've got to send like 10 emails or even more than that, just make sure you label each email like 1 of 10, 2 of 10, so that I make sure that I got everything. Because I want to make sure that I, fully represent, your collection for you, and we'll take a look at that on the show. So, usually have some topics, but we may have one towards the end of the show, or that may be saved over to next, next show, just because we haven't done a show since December 7th. So, and that was our 300 episode special. And the sport.
Hey.
So,
came on. All right.
Rick, you want to tell people where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram as Shatrdglassjazz.
Sport?
You can find me here on YouTube as Sportimus and on Twitter and the other place. Can't remember the name. Anyway, Sportimus Prime.
All right. And you can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at G1Hexatron. So let's start off. Toy Mafia joining us. What's up, man? Figure number 20. I could have done a top 50. Like, got so much stuff this year, but
yeah, probably so. For sure.
Easily, yeah.
What you got,
going first?
You
want me to go first? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of these I've got in hand, like beside me, and some of them I don't. But this one I do. Coming in at number 20 is, and I thought this was probably the coolest Spawn redo update that I've seen in a long time. I thought the sculpt, McFarlane always had good sculpt. This one's better than any of the ones that came before. I think I have all the violators, but well done. Back to form. He's got a bunch of new comics and still has the Spawn comic out, but now it's more of the Spawn universe, and he's killing it in the books. And I think a lot of the stuff he's been putting out figure-wise is killing it, and this one just happened to be my favorite.
Nice.
It's a nice looking figure.
Yeah.
What you got, Sport?
Well, I'm like Rick. I couldn't dig everything out because I have an injury. I can't lift up boxes, but I did manage to get quite a few. And my number 20 comes in with the Masters of the Universe Origins. This one in particular is Web Store. I always like this gimmick where you pull down a string and the guy goes up. But the colors are brighter. It seems like they've done that on all the figures pretty much, where they've brightened up the colors, they've saturated them more. But this gives me the feels. I mean, this gives me the feels of my childhood, right down to the packaging. And it's just like, it feels like the original, but better. And I think that's what makes this toy line so much fun. I really, really dig this thing. I dig all the figures. You can substitute this with any of them, to be honest with you. This is probably my favorite toy line as well.
Web Store, he was one of my favorites. So.
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
Him and Stinkor.
Yeah, I had him too. Yep.
Him, Stinkor, Faker. They were my three.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my number 20. Rick's going to be mad that I don't have this higher on the list, but this is where he's at. All right, so Major Blood, G.I. Joe. So, like they can put all his little stuff on them. It's a good job with a lot of the GI Joes where you can just about put all the little accessories on them. So Oh.
Ooh. Calamity.
That's the way the
The
figures go on the shelf.
story of an action figure's life.
Yeah.
What you
life.
hit one and then tried to correct
Just
it.
dominoes.
Then you ended up
Mhm.
knocking 3 more over, and
Mm-hmm.
then they're just all going.
Keeping it
All right.
real.
What do we got for 19?
All right, number 19. I think this is the only Super 7 item on my list. I'm doing the Turtles and the Thundercats, but I'm cherry picking. I'm not doing completists on them. But this one, Slive, came out looking real nice. I think the details that they're able to do, the scales, the paint, it all looks good. So this was well done. Every Super 7 is notorious for there are more pre-orders than actual releases, and that is true.
Mm-hmm.
But I still enjoy when you do get one, you do enjoy it because they're few and far between.
Oh
So
yeah.
he's definitely got to be on the list.
And my number 19, Rick, can you hold him back up again?
Yeah.
Because we tied on that one, Slive,
Yeah.
for the same reasons. He's a big figure. I mean, he's not very
he's
tall,
chunky.
but he's a big ball of plastic, which is
The
fantastic.
chunky boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
All right, 19. I went with NECA's Chrome Dome. Let's see how big this guy is.
Yeah.
Pretty big boy. So had the the vintage one as a kid. So I was pretty excited, when they did him. So that's usually how I like the stuff. Like if I had it as a kid, then I enjoy its newer updates a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's definitely one.
All right, so we're on 18.
18. Coming at number 18 is the first of the Hot Toys. He's back here behind me on the shelf. You can't really see him. He's beside Count Dooku, and that was Commander Cody. They did a good job with him. A lot of the troops were my favorite things that Hot Toys has been kicking out. So
nice. Mine would have to be Huffer. And Huffer, yeah. I did not like the G1 toy too much, but I like his colors. And this one does him justice to me. They finally came out with a Huffer that has good articulation, the size that I like, which is deluxe. And again, the colors just pop on him. And I just really happy with the Kingdom line in general.
We got Art and Legionaro joining us as well. What's up, fellas? Let's see. 18. I went with Barbecue. So
good figure.
Yeah, really nice. Just about all the jokes except for the movie ones are solid. Dude, my Walmarts are just and Target are just especially the Walmarts that like they went in like thinking that these figures were gonna fly off the shelf. And dude, I've got cases of those Snake Eye movie figures just sitting.
Oh yeah.
They don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, mine are finally are dwindling. They're finally after now that it's January. I saw a handful, but they're mostly gone.
Dude,
it took a while.
Each Walmart's got like 50 of them.
Mine dwindled and then they restocked.
Yeah.
I remember Texas does it bigger. Your Walmarts are pretty big, the ones that you show us before.
That's what she said.
So, all right. So number 17, getting into some G.I. Joe Classified. And I know, man, people are going to be like, why isn't he higher on the list? It's just because this list, like Josh said, I could have probably had 35 to 50 figures instead of just 20. Anyway, the Alley Viper. Good figure. Good trooper. Loaded out. He's got tons of stuff. I still have stuff over there in the bag. Only reason he's not higher is, like I said, there's just a lot of good figures this year.
The boots, the shins, the boots. Do you like them? Do you like the
They're
coloring?
okay. Yeah, they don't bother me. But you know me, like for me, like a lot of the figure takes place above the torso. Like a lot of the things I like, because usually their hands are busy with the weapons. In this case, he has a huge shield. He's got that mask. He's got that backpack that you can load out with stuff. Yeah, the boots and stuff like that don't really bother me. But I've heard other people say something about the boots, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, on that real quick, like the difference, because like we could have done a top 50, and you'd see the difference between number 1, where I would grade it, to like number 18 is like minimum. It was just like I
Yeah.
can't put y'all at number 1, so
Yeah.
had to kind of space it. So like any of these figures could have been a number 1,
Yeah.
for
I
anyone.
think the one thing you'll hear me say, like as I go through the list, there's probably half of these I'm probably going to say something that what made it super special. And I think that's key as to why we might have picked it. There's a few in here where I'll say, all right, this one's super special, but I know what you mean.
All right, what you got for it?
The Kingdom Galvatron, which I don't have with me, but it's the best Galvatron we've gotten, in my opinion, in any main line. The Titan's Return I actually liked, but I didn't like the Headmaster gimmick. So this one finally has a Galvatron that has everything the way I want it. No gimmicks that are weird. It's got a nice blast effect ability for it. You can make it look like he's shooting. Love the proportions. I know the shoulder issues was a big thing, but I got a good one. And I like the Generations one as well. Both are nice repaints.
I agree. He's a good figure. The only reason I left him off my list was two things: the deco that I had to clean off, and then I had to fix my shoulders. So that was it. It's hard to overlook it, isn't it? I mean, it's hard to overlook it when there's two things that are issues. At least one thing's an issue for everyone. Two things for, I'd say, 60% of people.
Right.
Yeah.
But other than that, he still looks good. He looks good on the shelf, but I had to put some work in on it.
All right, 17 for me. I went with another one that had as a kid and always enjoyed this guy, Mondo Gecko.
Oh, wow.
Got a little skateboard there. Pretty cool, movable mouth.
That's the NECA?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see that, like, I get them to where they can stand, and you don't mess with them anymore.
You count your blessings if you get it there with no breakage.
Yeah. Dude, I had to use hair dryer on a couple of new ones.
I think I'm going to get a heat gun now that the hair dryer is becoming standard. I think I'm just going to break that and just get a little heat gun. Might as well.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. What are we at? 16?
Yep.
Number 16 for me. I don't have it with me, but you can check out my Instagram because almost all of the Joe stuff and Cobra I've featured throughout this year on my Instagram, and that's Firefly. Firefly I got on January 1, 2021, because I stood outside at Target.
Good old Firefly.
Good figure. Nothing else to say. You can check out pics on Instagram.
My number 16 goes to Super 7 Ultimates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Donatello.
The best turtle.
He is. Actually, my favorite has been Leonardo for a long time. But honestly, I've just got really enamored with this one. This does it for me.
I like that they're doing the two heads. Like you can go with the toy head, or you can go with a different head.
Right.
And that's my favorite thing about this particular line. I had the toys, but I didn't collect them like you guys probably did. I didn't have it that many. I had the main guys, but that was about it. So this nostalgia is low, but the figures are awesome. I have him stood up in the back over here, and I had him in some really, usually Super 7's articulation. And it is kind of limited, but you can pull off some decent poses if you know what you're doing. With the figure.
Yeah, I mean, he's not loose or anything. He's got tight joints. Nothing is shaking.
No, the paint was good.
Paint's good. Lots of different hands and other accessories and The weapons is generous, like the original ones were.
Yeah, it comes with 2 bow staffs instead of just
Mhm.
1 bow staff. I like that
Yeah.
as well.
Great figure. Love this guy.
All right, 16. I went with another Joe. I went with Beachhead because I was late at getting him, and I had to get him from like another retailer, like in the mall, and had him marked up, and the box was crushed and everything.
It's funny how near the end of the year, I ended up with 4 of them, and I didn't mean to. Like, I'd gotten one for my kid for Christmas, and then we realized we wrapped two Beachheads for him for Christmas, so I had an extra one that I didn't even know anyway. So yeah, as the year went on, he became easier to get. Number 15. So this one's the most special of the ones that I've had on my list so far. And that was because I ordered him, took about 7 months to get him. And I've been trying to get this figure since I was a kid, real Ghostbusters, but I ended up getting the Sam Hain, or Sam Hain, real Ghostbusters custom. And it's by Bam Toy Co. You can find them on Instagram. I think they do Facebook, but I don't. So I found them on Instagram. But dude, he comes with a few heads. Check out my Instagram. I've got a video covering him and another one. So he came with some extra heads with all the different looks, but they just did like the paint job on this guy and just how he feels on your shelf when you put him next to the real Ghostbusters in Ecto-1. It just fills a hole. Anybody that collects that stuff knows that they didn't really do a lot of the villains from the cartoon. And now they're actually on their 3rd one coming up. And I saw that there's a 4th one planned as well. So
yeah, we only got Sam Hain from the Amigo style several years ago.
Yeah. And he doesn't look great.
No.
Hey, welcome, Chris. What you got, Sport?
My number 15, right? So
Yep.
We're on 15. I know you're not going to like this one, Hex, but Tigertron. I've been wanting a Tigertron like this for ages because the original one, let's be honest, the original Beast Wars Tigertron mold is not very good. I'm going to get the reissue, but it's still not a very good looking mold. The Masterpiece one is so expensive, and I don't even like to touch it. So I finally have a $30 one that I can mess with all I want, and it looks great, and it's vastly better than the deluxe Cheetor that came out in this line.
Yeah.
So that's my 15. And he's white, like he should be.
All right, for mine, I went with Grimlock. Just because, finally getting the big boy Grimlock, the proper size that he should be. Like, Hasbro kept on messing around, giving us, like him the same size as everyone else. No, he should be bigger. He's a T-Rex. So, just got to commend him for that. Finally getting the Dinobots the proper size. So that's why I kind of moved up the list, where someone else might have. Stop it.
Yeah, he's a good figure. He was right at the edge of making my list. I think I had him in the when we did our halfway point. He was definitely in there. Where are we at? Number 14?
Damn cat.
All right, so number 14, I don't have it down here. It's still upstairs, but it was the only Transformer I think that made my list. Kingdom Rodimus. I messed with that figure a whole lot. I really liked just about everything about it, including the transformation. For me, as I get older and I've got so many Transformers, I mean, I have to take them down because I ran out of shelf space. Like, it takes up almost the entire room. I have some G.I. Joe in there as well. But anyway, he was special. I remember spending a lot of time with it, and I was just happy with it. Much like the previous year, the Hot Rod, I was really happy with that one. I was as happy with the Kingdom Rodimus. So big shout out for Rodimus.
Nice. Well, mine will be something that Rick might like. That's G.I. Joe Flint.
Yep, do like Flint.
Always liked the character, And they did this guy justice. That's all I have to say about that. This whole line is just a win for me anyway.
All right, for my 14, I went with Scourge, just because I think this one it's beautiful. Finally when I got it, I'm like, that's the way he's supposed to look right there. Not some different looking, bomber, that they did, or the G1 was like nothing like the cartoon, but at least he kind of outlines to look properly here. I think it's a fantastic job.
Yeah, I like him too. I heard other people saying that they didn't like him as much as they liked the last one that they did,
which
but
surprises
I'm just not
me.
that person. I agree
The bomber?
with you that I
No,
think this
the
one's,
headmaster.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
I think this one is the best. So
Me too. Yeah.
The headmaster.
All right, number 13. I don't have
Titan
this one
Return.
down here, but I think I talked about him earlier this year, and this one is the only Motu figure to make my list, and that's going to be the Mattel Creations exclusive Scareglow. What I liked about him made him a little different from the regular release. Why he made the list, I can't overlook the packaging on him and all the extras, including the wired cape. You can't buy the regular store releases with wired capes, and I think that's a big mistake.
Yeah.
Most of the people collecting that Revelation stuff are older than they're our age or a little bit younger maybe, but my kid doesn't have as much interest in that. He collects the Origins and he loves the Origins. So anyway, I think they should have wired cape. So he made the list because of the packaging, the wired cape, and also the swords that you can separate that is part of the fiction in the cartoon from this year. I think that's important too, is when you watch the fiction, you want to be able to kind of simulate those things with your action figures. And this figure, actually, you can do that.
Pretty cool figure. Mine would be what Mr. G1 Hexatron just showed, and that's going to be Scourge, or Sweeps in this case.
Yeah.
I like Scourge colors better than the Sweep, but they're the same figure. I like the more, I don't know, purplish hue to it. I don't know how to describe it, but this is more of a toy look to me of the G1, but I like the Scourge a lot better. Basically everything what you said about him. I mean, that's the best transformation, a solid figure. I mean, it works. I don't have any reason to buy another different version of him now.
All right. And this one, 13, he made it this high mainly because, I want y'all to keep doing this and finish it for me. I put Fangry on there because I want the rest of the Headmaster Juniors, and I want, the Autobot ones as well. So,
yeah,
is it the best, design or whatever? No, but it, in robot mode, looks like Fangry.
Yeah.
And I mean, other than the knees being terrible, I like it because you're giving me that Japanese headmaster to where it's like, hey, I want more of this. I want more of the Japanese stuff. I don't want another year where it's like, here's a bunch of more bumblebees and hot rods and da da da. No, you have a huge character base, and a lot of it is Japanese that you can tap into, that we know that a lot of people want. Give it to us.
I agree.
So,
especially
and you had
now
to get
that
this
they've
guy
done
through an exclusive 4-pack. No, just give us regular releases. It'll sell.
Yeah.
Now that we've gotten kind of like the ultimate versions of stuff, just like we've said, for the last 2 years, the Kingdom stuff, the stuff that came before, all the Hot Rod, the Optimus, the Rodimus, Huffer, like all of these figures. Now we have if you're talking about like seasons 1 and 2, I feel like we have most of them we have now in a pretty good way. So I agree with Josh, bring in a little more of the characters that either you haven't done in a while or you've never done, and give us those, like Slapdash. Still waiting, Hasbro. Slapdash. Anyway, there's a few on my list.
Yep.
All right. We on number 12?
Yeah.
All right. Number 12 for me is, and he was on my halfway list, and I've shown him off then. I don't have him right now. He is the Spawn Kickstarter that McFarlane did. I have two different versions. Not much. There's a few different items on each one and a different head and some new molding and stuff and different effects, but they're both, amazing. Really cool packaging. Can't leave that. The packaging on that, not quite as good as the Mattel Creation stuff this year, but really good. And I have him in the other room displayed. He's not in a toy room, but he's in our main room displayed because I like him that much. I've been in a 90s mood lately. So
nice. Well, mine will be Leader Class Studio Series Slag. I'm not going to call him Slug. I'm calling him Slag because that's his name. And he's big and he's bad, and this is the way Dinobots should have been from the beginning. Love the size. What was it? Titan's Return or Power of the Primes, whatever that was, the deluxe Dinobots, they were weak sauce. This guy makes up for it.
Yeah, I think it was Powers of Prime or something.
Yeah,
like
they were just way too small.
These are correct.
Nice and
those
beefy and big the way they should be.
They tried to fit in the combiner gimmick and stuff like, no, just give us big dinosaurs. That's all we wanted. So
exactly.
Finally getting it right. All right, for what is it? My number 12. I went with Wingnut.
Oh,
Another one I had as a kid.
He looks good.
It was awesome. Yeah. So
is that NECA still?
Yeah, this is a NECA one.
Nice.
Again, beautiful sculpts. Nice paint. Crappy quality. So, as long as you know that going in. These aren't whatever it is. What do people always put in their Twitter bios? Like retweets do not mean like I agree or something like that.
Yeah.
I forget. It says something like that. Like these aren't endorsements. Yeah, retweets are not endorsements. Like I'm not endorsing these. I'm just saying like, hey, I know what they are. So.
All right. So number 11, another hot toy made the list, and this one I've actually been waiting for. Again, you kind of need him if you're going to be troop building, and that's Captain Rex. He comes with so much. This is probably 60% of what he comes with. Yeah, man, it's loaded out with stuff, but definitely going to make the list. I've been waiting on this one for a long time. So
he's a great character too.
Yes.
Well, if you notice on my list, I'm pretty Transformers heavy, so it should come to no surprise that Cyclonus is on that list. I know it's in the box, but I mean, this is the Cyclonus I've been waiting for. It's like the Slag and the other ones that I mentioned. This is Hasbro's been killing it with these G1 modern figures, and Cyclonus is perhaps one of the best, in my opinion, along with Scourge. The transformation, the way the nose cone collapses and everything, the proportions. I heard that they're going to come out with a G1 colored one in Generations, or Generation Selects. So I'll be getting that too if it does.
All right, my 11, I went with Black Series Clone Wars Anakin. So this was one of those.
Oh yeah,
figures.
I forgot about
figure.
him.
I think he turned out looking really good.
Looking bad.
Just the hunt sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not fun.
All right, number 10.
Number 10 for me is the Cobra Viper. He's the other one. I think he came out, wasn't he, January 1, I think, last year.
Yeah.
So, and I'm happy with it. I got plenty of them at this point. It took a while, but eventually I was able to troop build that guy.
I had 0.
After Sport just said I couldn't get a
not
single
one.
You're like, I got quite a few of them, man. Just troop building.
Rick was all like, "Yeah, I got like 20 of them." Yeah.
I think I got. Yeah, I think I found an extra one at Christmas that I didn't even know I had. I'm not even joking.
There we go.
Yeah. If you need one, I can probably spare one. I think he's still in the box. I know you're a box collector. I think he's still in the. I think I've got one that's still in the box. That's not
Box
in
life.
my mint
Are you a
inbox.
box collector? I thought you just didn't have time to open your stuff.
A little bit of I'm not really a box
not
collector,
buying
to be honest with you. I just ended up that way because I was planning to move, but circumstances that showed up last year, I can't say the word, but we all know what that is. It's delayed that. So rather than opening up what I've already packed, I just put them in the boxes and put them in boxes. So
Yeah, that's smart. Collector of boxes.
yeah, I hate it. It's a big tease.
All right, what you got?
Whose turn is it?
Yours.
Mine?
You're number 10, right?
My number 10. What is my number 10? Oh, it is MP52 Thundercracker, which is the repaint of Starscream.
Okay.
I didn't have time to pull them out. I'm sorry. I didn't like that figure at first. I'll be honest with you. I didn't like the way it looked, but after having it in hand, I took a chance. He's gorgeous. That blue is just perfect.
My last NECA. Look how big this thing is, and I have a big head, so
yeah, he's a good figure.
Yeah, and I got him on the Hasbro Pulse stand, so it holds decent.
Nice.
But it's one that I know if it ever falls over, it's broken. Like there's no saving it.
He's another one that was like 21, 22. He was right at the edge of my list. And honestly, the only reason he didn't make it is because I have to buy the Bronx to get his folded in wings. I deduct a point for that, because I want the folded wings with all of them. All right.
Otherwise, how are you going to put them on the shelf?
I think they weren't expecting that. I don't know. I could be wrong.
It's like how can you not? I don't know. Like if you're thinking like a collector.
So they can charge you the same amount. They're going to put wings with Bronx. They're going to put wings with Lexington.
Mm-hmm.
They'll probably put wings with whatever the female girl is. The
Demona.
Yeah. No, not the.
Oh, Eliza or whatever.
Yeah. The human lady.
Yeah, they probably will. That's probably how they'll do it.
Let's see. Truminium and Action Figure Expert joins us as well. What's up, guys?
What's up, guys? What are we? Number nine. Coming in at number 9 is going to be another G.I. Joe classified figure for me, and that is Barbecue. Love this guy. Love everything he comes with. He's accessory heavy, just like they should be. It's part of the Joe legacy is accessories, and he doesn't disappoint.
Nice. Mine's going to be the Cobra Infantry Trooper. We all know what that looks like.
Good figure.
Lots of accessories. Just a brilliant job of that figure.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. My number 9 is going to be Zartan. So
another awesome figure.
Yeah, another winner.
I'm actually selling the color change one at Mike's show. I decided I just need one Zartan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Number 8. I gotta maneuver here. This one I have down here. So number 8 for me. This one's special too. This is something that came out at the end of the year, and I feel really good about it. It's up there with G.I. Joe Classified now with as far as action figures go. When there's a release, I'm going to be excited about it. And that's the Action Force Steel Brigade figure. This one's got the Kickstarter exclusive gold head on it.
Nice.
But this is your regular one. But I can't tell you how excited I am with this figure line. The thing I like that if you haven't been hearing all of us talk about them on socials, like a lot of figures, even the classified, especially NECA, you got to use a little heat when you first get them. But what I like about them is if you get Marvel Legends or even Black Series, every once in a while, you'll get figures that when you take them out of the package, they've been in the plastic so long that their legs are either bowed out or bowed in a little bit.
Yep.
Sometimes the masks, like a Boba Fett mask, will get bent in and you have to heat it up and stuff. This plastic is just a little bit harder. And when you hold it in your hand, you can feel the weight of it too. They're loaded out with accessories. Don't get me wrong, that makes them heavy as well. But it's something about like once you put, they also come with awesome stands, little Action Force stands. Once you put them on the stand, and this is game changing for me, they're not going to fall off once they're on the peg, and they are removed very easily. I've had them on my shelf in all kinds of poses, and they're not. I don't have to worry about like someone, like my kid jumping in the room and stuff falling off the shelf. You don't need to mess with it. So that one made my list, and I think this line is going to be a really cool line. If you haven't discovered it, just look into it. Valaverse, Action Force. Bobby's a good dude, and a lot of the stuff that's made our action figure top 20s in the past, he's been a part of that. He's done a lot of work. So, but now he's on his own, and this is his thing, and he can control it. So.
Yeah. I should have got this Sergeant Slaughter.
Well, there's a second version coming out.
Yeah, he's in Wave 2. You can pre-order him.
Mine will be Lady J. What?
Great figure.
I like Lady J because she's hot and she has a javelin, so why not? But
she's resourceful.
Very resourceful. The interchangeable hair hat thing is kind of weird, but it works. Not much to say except I like her.
All right. Number 8. I also have Lady J, and also because she was one of my favorite. I thought she was hot. You know, I like the short hair. Zarana, or however you say her name, Lady J. You know, like
right.
I always like those two. So, and I don't know, I liked her character, so you know, I was happy to get her. So.
Yeah, she was an awesome figure.
She was more satisfying to find than Scarlet. Yeah.
Yeah, and her articulation is better too. She's got the double elbows and stuff. Scarlet did not. So you can get her into better poses. That's important.
Even better.
All right, number 7. Number 7 for me, I don't have it in front of me, was Breaker and the Ram Cycle. I featured it on my Instagram. So yeah, he was actually, him and Snake Eyes, day one in 1982. Those were the two Joes that I bought at a Rose's on a Saturday. My mom bought them for me, and that's what I came home. I came home with Breaker, the Snake Eyes, and the Ram Cycle, actually. So for me, that was very nostalgic as the first G.I. Joe experience I ever had.
Honestly, he would have made the list, except that he didn't come with a weapon. That was a deal breaker for me.
Luckily, Bobby provided me with like 40 real guns. I'm starting to become more of a gun aficionado now too, collecting action.
Get your own little armory, yeah.
Between you guys and Bobby, yeah, a lot of gun aficionados.
Yeah, I've got some of his packs on pre-order at BBTS.
Yeah,
where it's just the guns. Yeah. And it's a good price too. Like it's a bunch of guns and the effects. Yeah. It's like $12 or something like that. Like, dude, I'm surprised it's this cheap. Like you go to SD or any of those other places, like like crazy prices.
Yeah, it just would have been nice if Hasbro would have just. I mean, how would it have killed them to include a pistol?
Dude, they still don't put.
I know
they don't. They still have pegs showing through their wheels on $80 toys. So
yeah,
you know.
I mean, we're talking.
We're beyond the. Couldn't Hasbro have just done this?
But it's just a small little thing, you know.
The funny thing, like, but they've done it so long that now everybody else, like Valaverse, they're taking advantage of Hasbro's weakness, and it is a weakness.
Yeah.
And that's good. That means competition is good.
Yeah.
What you got, Sport?
Mine was number 7.
Yep.
Okay. Wreck-Gar. This figure is so nice. I bought him twice. And the main reason is because I like the quad bike that you can do to him. You can add the front and back wheels onto him. You can make him look like he's driving a quad instead of a motorcycle. Love the character. This is, again, like Scourge, the most definitive version of Wreck-Gar that I've ever come across and I probably ever need.
Yeah, he's great.
Yep.
He was another one that was just like just barely missed it for me.
Yep.
Let's see. Man, I went on like a G.I. Joe run here. Firefly. So
another good one.
Yeah.
I'll ask the neighbor.
Hold on.
All right.
I don't know
Number
what
6.
that was. All right.
Sports got to go talk to the neighbor.
No.
I didn't know what that was. I thought I was hearing a voice for a second. I'm
Yeah.
getting older, so I got to really pay
No.
attention.
I'm sorry. My mom came by and she can't park the car because there's too much snow. So I just told her to leave it out there. I'll get to it later. Sorry. I don't want neighbors
leave it out in the middle. Leave your car out in the middle of the street.
She parked in front of the driveway, but I don't want neighbors driving my car. Sorry.
All right, this is number 6. So this is another special one. I talked about the other one earlier. So this is the second one of these custom Real Ghostbusters figures. This is another one I've been wanting. It's my favorite. My favorite few episodes of the Real Ghostbusters feature the Boogeyman.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of like Egon's nemesis. I think he's the coolest villain in the show. He stuck with me. I don't know if I was creeped out as a kid by him. I think it was interesting because it was a Saturday morning kind of very cartoony show, and it's not that he does look cartoony, but it's something about like his voice and how they portrayed him, and how when those episodes, the writing of those episodes was really well done, and it just felt spookier than the others. So it's really cool having these guys on my shelf and I can't believe no one has ever made one. It's crazy to me that no one's ever done them. So again, it's Bam Toy Co. on Instagram.
And that actually frustrates me because both Mattel and now Hasbro has the Ghostbusters license, and they don't even touch that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that they could do. If anybody's interested, the next 2 that they're doing, the next one is the Sandman, and then the 4th one is going to be the Grundle.
Nice.
So if you watch the cartoon, you know who those 2 are.
I love that cartoon series. It's just one of my favorites all time.
Mm-hmm.
Mine, we're going into third-party territory here.
Oh.
It's going to be Fans Toys Smokey. I am a huge Stunticons fanboy. I love Stunticons. I wasn't going to go in on these because they're actually taller than the Masterpiece Carbots. But you know what? This guy is so well designed, and he has such a presence to him. And you'll know it when you have him in hand. He's a hefty boy, too. Lots of die cast. But he's just so well engineered. And he just, I'm not going to say he walked off the screen, but he just is everything I want out of Dragstrip. So that's mine. Beautiful figure. Stunning. And no kibble.
All right, and we got.
I like that he's out of the box.
I like that he's out of the box too.
Illmatic Prime joins us and says we're making some good picks, and Trumanium, he was saying like Boogeyman like terrified him from youth, So
yeah, I think that's always interesting if you think about it. What you're scared of, and
a lot of kids were terrified of that character. I wasn't, but I thought he was a really cool design. It's one of my favorite characters.
Probably why they didn't make him toy form. So
yeah.
All right, my number 6. I went with another Joe. I went with the Viper.
Nice.
Cobra.
Yeah, he's he's one of those you know, what do you Corona Bros, where he's got a full helmet on, but he's also got a handkerchief down here so he can double mask up. So
there we go. He's all set.
all right, number 5.
Number 5, coming in down to the home stretch. This one's more recent, but easily up there with obviously he's easily up there with the top figure so far that Classified has put out. I was super impressed, and that's the Bat Trooper. When I got him, I was excited, but I didn't know that I was going to end up liking him. I dig everything about him. I've got tons of the original. I've got tons of the anniversary one. And this one just takes most of those things and just figures out how to level it up. I've got the beat up head on him, so you can see like that Terminator kind of eye and stuff. And I've got his cover off. It comes with a cover that's clean and a cover that's banged up with some bullet holes in it. This one just has them off. But the cool thing about it is you could have 5 of them. And because of all the weapons and stuff, they can all look different in some way. So nice. I always dig that about the troops.
Yeah, the Alley Vipers and the Bats, I had them pre-ordered at BBTS, but then GameStop had a buy 2 get 1 50% off or something. Plus it was like an additional 15% off. So I was like, dude, like I'm saving some money here.
Yeah.
And then like the Bats aren't in, but then the Alley Vipers, and they were like, yeah, we're out. I'm like, no, I pre-ordered these. Like I pre-ordered them, so my reservation, I felt like that Seinfeld episode. And he was like, yeah, I have a reservation for the car. They're like, yeah, we're out of cars. He goes, yeah, but you shouldn't have, because that's what I put the reservation.
Exactly.
So that the car would be here. I'm like, that's what I did with the toy. I pre-ordered it. So like I have pre-bought the toy. And they're like, yeah, but we're out. We're waiting for more stock. And we may get stocked in like July or something. I'm like, July? I'm like, but I pre-ordered.
I know.
Like way back.
I put in like orders at, I want to say 5 different places. And once I get the number I want, I'm just going to cancel the last few. That's how I've been doing.
I'm thinking about just canceling with all the GameStops and just reorder them from BBTS. Even though I was saving, dude, I saved like $70 or something like that.
What I like about it is, if I want to put the 20 minutes in that it takes me to go to all those places and pre-order it, it guarantees my leveling up of because it's a numbers game. Eventually, one of them's going to hit. But so you put the time in at the beginning, and you're guaranteed getting them eventually from someone and get the number that you want. You just got to put that work in, and it does require a little bit of work. Yeah. Some places did get them pretty early, though. I felt like, and even what was Hasbro Pulse the other day, and I think it was it Dakota? Somebody said, "Hey, heads up, they're in the Pulse," and
it's Dakota.
Luck. It rarely happens that I'm like right by my phone, and I happen to be like right on my phone at the moment he sent it. I was able to get. I think they limited it to 2 that day, but I was able to get it in. They sold out in 5 minutes
by the sale. GameStop.
That's a good price. The sale prices are awesome. Yeah.
Because like BBTS is charging like $25 a piece, and I'm like, well,
I
want 4 of each of them. That's $200.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right. What'd you have, Sport, for 5?
5. 5. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to show this because it's dark, so it might not show up well on camera. But it's Major Blood. G.I. Joe Classified.
Yep.
I'll be honest, I'm not too keen on the character, but I just love his design, and they just went all out. That's the one thing about this line, is they put in a lot of detail and love in their figures, and this is no exception. I like the villains more anyway. So.
Yeah, me too. Other than there's a few heroes I like in Joe's, but mostly the villains. Like Shipwreck, that needs to be sooner than later. My number 5, I went with the Cobra Trooper. So
Nice.
yeah, all those accessories on him.
He's awesome.
All right, number 4.
All right, number 4. And the last hot toy on my list, he made it up close to the top. Got a few of these guys, but that 332nd, which is really the 501st, but with Ahsoka's helmet on. There's a bunch of options for these guys. I think there's 3 options. So, but all of the ones I got, I'm displaying in the 332nd company. But yeah, love that figure. I was telling Josh before the show, I kind of want 4 of them, but by the time I get Ahsoka and you put the others in the little display, there's really not going to be any room left for them.
Very cool.
What? Which collar, Hex? Are you talking about for the? It's not the Target exclusive. If that's what you're asking on the Trooper.
Oh, there's
it's the
variations
reissue or
on that.
whatever.
Yeah, there's variations on the Cobra Island Target Trooper.
Yeah, it's not the Island one. It's the whenever they came out with them like a second time, because I never got the Island one. I couldn't see that stuff.
No, I didn't either.
Our Target people, they take them off. They never hit the front. Like I've told the story a million times, but they take them and they never hit the sales floor, all the exclusives, and then they sell them at these local conventions while wearing their Target shirts.
That's nice.
It's the craziest thing. I'm like,
Jerks.
why would you wear your Target shirt at the convention that you're selling nothing but Target exclusives?
It's super bold.
Yeah, so.
Wow. Well, one I don't have with me, sorry, but it's going to be the Super 7 Ultimates TMNT Bebop.
Mm-hmm.
Great figure.
And he's huge. I mean, this is Donatello that you saw earlier. Imagine him being like this much taller. I mean, I wish I had him with me. He's such a big figure. He's got all the sculpted detailing that you could ever hope for. I never really paid much attention. I have the original one, and I never really noticed that he has like a leg brace. I don't know why, but things like that, they brought out that detail and they painted it, and it's just, that's probably one of my favorite figures of 2021, easily.
It's probably one of the best figures that Super 7's done.
Yeah, and they've really improved their quality and their sculpting, and it's from the time that they started the Masters of the Universe stuff to now, they've really come a long way, and that figure shows it.
All right, number 4. I believe both of you guys have shown this already. With Thundercats. Slice.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Super 7. Yeah. Big beefy boy. Well, yeah, look how big old thicky boy too. And he sits nice too.
Yeah.
Well balanced.
And the alternate head is great too. I mean, he's very expressive, Tons of weapons.
All right. We're in top 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 3. There's tons of pictures on my Instagram. I think I took 4 or 5 this year till people got tired of it. And the other guys just showed him. Major Blood is number 3. G.I. Joe Classified Major Blood. And really the reason he made it so high on the list is the sculpt of his head. There's one picture, I think I put it in the thumbnail for our show tonight, so hopefully you can see it. You can see part of it at least, but his head sculpt just for me was the best head sculpt in the Classified line this year. And because Classified is all their head sculpts are pretty good, that one just happened to be the best of all the head sculpts. So that's why he's so far on the list. I thought they did a great job with the kind of the robotic arm and the removable helmet and kind of the mohawk kind of look, or the faux hawk, and just overall, just a great figure. The only reason, the only nitpick I ever had with him was the little missiles don't like to stay on very well, and that could have been easily avoided because they've had a very long time. The Major Blood's been coming with a backpack and missiles for a long time, folks. So that's just a nitpick, but he's up there.
Very cool. Mine.
I
Oh, go
agree with Trumanium, except for Lady J's head sculpt. Yeah, because she is definitely prettier than Major Blood. So,
Yeah,
Oh,
she's definitely more attractive.
yeah.
Easy on the eyes. Yeah. Well, mine I could not find, unfortunately. That would be Classified Zartan. That's my favorite villain so far in the G.I. Joe line. I mean, it
Can't even find it. That's pretty
it
sad.
frustrated me. I ran out of time. So
Oh,
I can't
okay.
find
I thought like it's lost. I'm
No,
like,
no,
yeah, it's one of your top
no.
3 figures and you just lost it.
No, I know roughly where he's at. I just ran out of time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I mean that I as if you remember, I was this close to just quitting the line. I was so frustrated with not finding
Yeah.
these figures. I was
Multiple
so angry
times.
not getting the Viper because I didn't get the Viper. I love the Viper and
The
other figures
Troopers,
too.
the
Yeah,
Vipers.
it's maddening. But I'm glad I stuck
Beachhead.
with it. I got Beachhead, thankfully. But Zartan saved it for me. That figure actually kept me back in, and I'm glad I'm still in because I absolutely adore that figure. He's perfect. He's everything I wanted. He's one of my favorite villains as well. And I hope we get the Dreadnoks to go with him.
Yeah.
All right, number 3. I went with one of my favorite characters of all times. I went with the Black Series Clone Wars Ahsoka.
Oh, really? Cool.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, good choice.
She would have made higher up on the list, except for like I've already got an Ahsoka, so it's like, hey, it's kind of filled, that void.
Yeah.
But the Clone Wars version is, the one that you want. So, all right, number 2.
Number 2, classified figure, and it is Snake Eyes and Timber.
Oh, you got one.
This is the definitive for me. Like, this is the best version of Snake Eyes because you get the Commando version. He's packed out with a ton of weapons. But then you get this guy. I've got the angry head on, but he comes with like a friendly head as well. But they just did a good job. They just did a great job with this. Was just it's one of those things where like if you had like, all right, what are the figures that you can't miss this year? There's no way you could miss this one. If you're a G.I. Joe fan, this one's kind of like you gotta have this one. There's certain ones you have to have. This is that one. And it was the first time we got to see how the animal companions are gonna kind of operate and how much attention they might get, as opposed to the ones that we grew up with.
They're articulated. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're showing them love.
Oh,
The only reason I left him off the list is because like I already have a couple of Snake Eyes, so I was like, I know it's a different version and Timber, but I was like, we can get some different characters in there. So
yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely good. He would have been definitely the top 5.
Nice. I don't have him yet, so I couldn't put him on the list. Mine would be Fans Toyz Acoustic Wave, or Robot Paradise as they call it. I don't know. They're trying to avoid some legal issues, so whatever. But it's Fans Toyz, Robot Paradise, Soundwave, basically. This is the more cartoon look to him. And oh my god, you can bludgeon someone to death with this thing. There's so much metal on him.
That's what I'm looking for in my toys.
Oh yeah, you can definitely bludgeon someone. You can get some good muscles doing this, But you can make him look more G1 toy. But honestly, the Takara release of the official Soundwave, that's the definitive G1 toy for me. I mean, this guy is just worth every penny, to be honest with you. Worth every penny. Comes with cassettes as well. Unfortunately, you have to get the rest separately, but he does come with Frenzy. Everything works on him just fine. The quality is there. I wish Takara would produce something like this because this is just absolutely beyond meeting my expectations.
And Maddie the Dentist joins us as well. Says for all the stuff I have, I don't have that Snake Eyes yet, so we get them.
Me either. Yeah,
my number 2, because I already had the Ahsoka, and Ahsoka one of my favorite characters. So Also, another one of my favorite characters is her nemesis, Ventress. So I
Another
put her
good
at number
figure.
2. Yeah.
Ouch.
Some of the best Black Series have been Clone Wars era characters.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, down to number 1.
All right. Let's see here. All right, number 1 for me is going to be this guy, and it is Action Force again, and I'm going to go with the Swarm Trooper. To me, this is the best action figure that I've handled all year. Look at his hands on the pistol. Look how
I truly regret not getting that.
Look at his arms, the way they come in on the side of the vest and come in to hold that pistol with 2 hands. It's something simple, dude. Look how many action figures we buy. How many can do that? Right? I mean, it's something that's
sweet.
simple.
It's a good pose too.
Yeah. The colors on it's great. I love it.
Yeah, I'm trying to turn him around without him falling off the pulse stand.
Yeah.
You can kind of see. The one caveat I'll say with this figure is I've got the figure and the gear pack. So the gear packs are sold separately. The gear pack includes the wings, a grenade launcher that actually spins, and another gun, and also, so that's not you can display these guys a number of ways. So I've got the other thing you get is this giant shield with the little swarm icon on it. So you get a number of things with the gear pack, but this is what I'm saying about that. The figure that you get some weapons and the basics with, it's $32. I think the gear set that you get the shield, you actually do get a clear base. I don't have them on the translucent clear base. And you get 2 or 3 other weapons with it. I think it's $14. And this is what I'll say. I will do that all day long if they decide to ever do deluxe gear packs, or just include it with the figure. You know, I know Hasbro's been doing the deluxes for some of the figures, and you will get some extras sometimes with the deluxes. But I'm not against if you have an awesome gear pack with just loaded out, paying more for it. And this is why I say that. The original G.I. Joe figures, the big 12-inch guys, from way back when this stuff first started coming out, they all came with stuff like that. And then later you would go and get gear packs and clothing and different gear to outfit your troopers to carry them into battle. Nothing's changed. We, as action figure collectors, I would much rather buy a gear pack than to buy a second version of the same exact character with a different head. Yeah. Okay. Look at if anybody is out there and they haven't discovered what Bobby and what Valaverse is doing with Action Force, just give it a look. Go to valaverse.com. I just like where we're headed with the smaller companies, people that got their experience within the machine, you know, working for a Hasbro or Jazzwares and all that stuff, and they learned the job. They got great at the job. And now they're controlling things, and they're doing some of the things that we as action figures collectors, we want. So look, this is wave 1. Anyway,
I'm going to buy all the gun packs. So
yeah, I'm going to get you guys into it if you're not already. Even if I'll have some extra Steel Brigades. We'll figure it out. But I get you guys into it. There's comics as well in a universe. I got the shirt on. Sergeant Slaughter's in it. But
anyway. I do want the old Sergeant Slaughter too. So
yeah, great figures. And I think the Swarm Trooper is just knocking it out of the park.
That one's a gorgeous figure. I regret not getting it. I'm so sorry about that. I hope he re-releases it at some point. Number 1 was a tough one. I mean, this whole list was tough. But I'm going to have to give it to Shatrdglassjazz. I'm kidding. Good figure, though, but I just...
Yeah.
Honorable mention. How about that? The one that I had to give it to, it would be the Commander Class Rodimus Prime. That would be my number 1. I know about the non-painted rims, but honestly...
That's why he couldn't make it for me.
The pros far outweigh the cons for me. He's
I
just
agree.
so much fun. There's so much going on with that figure. It's and I don't want to beat this phrase to death, and I don't want to irritate people, but he is so G1. The trailer opening up, the way it becomes the gunner station for him, and
Yep. It's a
I mean,
good
there's
action figure.
yeah, I mean, he's just
Good
solid,
action figure.
and his transformation is fantastic. I mean, there's just I that's the one for me. That's my number one.
Yeah.
I can't help but look at him. It's like I'm looking at like this beautiful girl, and everything's great around it, but she just has like this big wart on her nose, and so I can't stop looking at it. You know, so and like I'm like, you know, that's
Yeah.
the only thing, but I'm like I can't stop staring at it. That's the peg and the wheels. It's a
Yeah.
$80. It's $80, right?
I think so. Yeah.
The figure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
and
put-
it's just it's something that wouldn't even cost you $1 to do it properly. Extra.
It's true.
You had that in the
Yep.
budget. It wouldn't even cost $1. So he didn't make it on my list for that reason. Second reason is because I put this guy at number 1. And so
Yeah, he's awesome.
Oh, okay.
So I went with the hot rod. I got him, you know, because I think you had him on your list last year, and I got him a little bit later. So
Mhm.
like I've had this guy for a little while, and I've messed with him, and I've messed with Rodimus. But you know, I just always liked hot rod instead of the
Yeah.
Rodimus. Plus, I had the G1s and freaking G1 Rodimus. He sucks. So
Yeah. G1 Rodimus was a stick. Yeah.
so whenever I played with him,
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, I'd rather play with hot rod, you know. So
Yeah.
that's
And
why I
I'll-
kind of favored him. Plus
yeah.
the peg wheels.
And I'll be honest with you, Hot Rod almost made my number one. It was a battle between him and Rodimus.
He's a good
It's-
figure.
They're both good, and I'm sorry I forgot to even put Hot Rod on my list, and I regret that too. I don't know how he did make it, but honestly, Rodimus for me just beats him out simply because of what you get. So, but both are fantastic.
All right, I am going to jump in screen share, look at some things.
Anybody in the chat have any top picks? Any of those guys have a top pick for the year?
Yeah.
Go ahead and
Good
list
question.
your stuff. Let's see. What's this guy's name again?
Sans?
Lift Ticket. So
yeah. Is he out?
He-
Someone has him.
he's going to be the Generation Select
Yeah.
figure. And again, Rick, we can kind of talk about this topic while we kind of just browse through this. But we were talking about like we collect so much stuff and so many different lines, and space is becoming an issue more and more
Yep.
and more. That we start just cherry picking, and like I don't need to be a completist on everything anymore. So like this,
Yep.
I'm not getting because prices have increased. My room for collecting has decreased.
Yeah.
Cherry
Sadly.
picking seems a little bit easier to do now as you're
Yeah.
further into your collecting career, whatever you want to call it, than
Yep.
when you just started out and you're like a baby snake, like you're blowing it all in one bite.
Yeah.
So,
Before the show, Josh and I were talking about just the how our collecting habits change a little bit each year. And one of the things for me I said was, and if you listened, I only had one Transformer on my list. It's not because I'm not buying a lot of studio series, because I am still buying a lot of studio series. The Transformers, the animated movie stuff I'm into, and a lot of the Kingdom stuff as well. But what Josh is saying is true for me. I used to buy almost all of the Transformers stuff product, and now I don't. Usually, I think every other year I would have had a Masterpiece figure on my list, even if it was only one. And this year I did not. I didn't purposefully not pick up Masterpiece, Starscream, and Thundercracker, but I didn't get them because there are other things out right now that I want more, like Action Force, for example. And I'm spending a little bit more on troop building for classified GI Joe. My priorities have shifted a little bit here and there. I'm picking up less Marvel Legends. Still picking up Hot Toys, but I think the price factor for Masterpiece. I didn't have any third party on my list this year. I think I only bought one or two. So it's important. Like I think each year things change a little bit. And like this year, I noticed Sport's the only one that has a third party product on our list. It used to be some of us. I think there were maybe 3 of us on the show that had third party stuff, and we would always.
But I used
this
to
year,
collect third party too.
And I'm actually
Sport's the last one.
I'm actually winding that down
regularly
too. Yeah,
on the show.
I'm actually winding that down. I'm just a few figures away from just stopping Masterpiece collecting. So
let's see.
I like the stuff that we buy though. The stuff that I've been buying, I like. I'm into it. But
yeah,
I'm gonna hit up the comments for they get past. Tremanium, he says, great list, guys. Well done. Thanks for the entertainment. Manny the Dentist. Unicron, I love lists like this, but never did one of my own. Art says, I don't even remember what I bought yesterday, let alone this year. So.
I know that feeling.
Tremanium says, I love all my G.I. Joe Classifieds and Black Series. They are all my friends. I can't pick favorites.
Yeah, that is hard.
Action Figure Expert.
A lot of good stuff.
He says, a few years ago, when I realized I had close to 30,000 action figures, died down drastically. Now mainly focused on transfers and Marvel Legends.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Angry Mike's calling somebody a liar.
That's
Nomadic.
common.
This is a great year for figures across the board. Had to choose hard to choose a top 10.
It is.
Yeah.
It's gotten hard to do 20.
Chris Barnes says, mine is the MPM Optimus Prime, which was that movie masterpiece.
Yeah, that came out for Target and some other stores. The Bumblebee movie version of Optimus Prime.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw that one once.
Angry Mike says he has 20 crappy pop figures that he could list. So
those aren't toys though.
Those aren't action figures. Yeah. So like it's not top 20 things that you got. Otherwise, I'd be saying like, PS5 and my Glock and movie theater stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's action figures. Omatic says my favorite pickup was Fansoy's Road King. Favorite official is the MPM Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime. Great figure for the price. And then Mike's still calling somebody a liar. I don't know. He's like old man yelling at son,
Get off my lawn.
We'll keep on the conversation. The one that is the premium finish, the new one is this darker looking color here. So instead of just talking about each little thing we're looking at, we'll keep the conversation going with you guys in the chat and topics on kind of collecting and how it's changed. I'll just keep pictures going by.
I know a lot of us, like the generation selects, a lot of us are cherry picking that stuff now, where I think a lot of us, even a few years ago, a lot of us were getting most of them, but I know most of us cherry pick that stuff now. Look, I love Shattered Glass, obviously, but I didn't pick up all the Shattered Glass things that Hasbro Pulse is doing. It's not because I don't like them. It's only because there's so many things that I'm interested in now.
Yeah.
And there's so many options.
And then with Marvel Legends, like I was only collecting X-Men and Spider-Man, but like as far as the detox that I have saved for Marvel, only have like 2 cubes left, and I've already started getting some figures on 1 cube. So like I've only got like a cube and 2/3 left, and before it's like that's it. So, but I've mostly got everything that I think I need. Like whenever they came out with that Evil Villains, I was like, the only one I want is Lady Deathstrike. Everything else can kick rocks. We're gonna look at some more stuff that they're coming out with. I'm like, other than Banshee, I don't think I need any of that stuff. So.
Well, Hasbro's made it easier for me with the Marvel Legends, because a lot of these things that have come out lately, I have no attachment to. I'm not saying I don't like them. I just have no desire to spend $25 on Eternals or Shang-Chi. I'm no hate towards it. I just don't feel the need to have them.
Yeah.
So that made it a lot easier for me. And prices have gone up. I mean, there's $22.99 at Target for Marvel Legends, you know. So space and price for me are two factors that play a big role now. And I don't need to have everything. I don't. I'd rather have stuff that stands out than a sea of toys that just get lost in the crowd.
Yeah. Which is kind of what happened. I think every year it shifts a little bit, and there's certain things that I skipped even in Hot Toys that I used to if I wanted it, I would just make sure I got it. And now I find myself skipping a lot more stuff or either taking longer to pay it off, which is fine. Like I finally got Iron Patriot showed up yesterday. I haven't even opened it yet. From Endgame, and I wanted him to go with my Rocket, so Rocket could be perched on his shoulder, from that last scene in Endgame. But even that stuff, I'm cherry picking that stuff.
Let's see. I'll get a new thing and then and it says, like I've always said, there's too much stuff, and all that stuff keeps getting redone. Too much stuff.
Yeah.
And then
That's
It's true.
Tremanium says my OCD makes me have to have everything. Yeah, I kind of did that as well. Remember
too.
MP10 Optimus Prime? And then
Yeah.
they would come out with this, repaint him into a second one, and I bought it. And then they came out with another one,
Right.
one, and then it had like 5 of them. And I'm like, yeah, I got them all. Like I'm gonna collect all masterpieces, all the variants. Then they had like I forget, was like Nike shoe.
Yeah.
MP10s, like 3 different ones that way. Then they had a 7-Eleven one, and then I was just like, that's whenever I was like, I'm rethinking this. Like, gotta collect them all because, dude, we're just talking about one mold, and MP10 wasn't even the final mold, So.
And that happened to me with Star Wars, with the carbonized line and the other things that they did.
Yeah, it's easy to skip that.
It's just too much.
Or when Black Series, I had collect every single variant of Star Wars Black Series line until they came out with Range Trooper Santa Claus.
Oh, the Christmas stuff.
And the Stormtroopers wearing like Santa hats and stuff. I was like, nope.
Yep.
I am not getting those. I'm done. Why does Jazz have just solid chrome rims? Those are ugly rims.
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe it's not finished yet, or they're going to do something different, because these are just test shots.
Okay, I hope so. Because
he looks good.
Randy's exactly right. Star Wars Black Series exclusives are just getting stupid. They've been stupid.
Yeah, and easy to skip though. I mean, if they're not looking to make money, keep doing that, because I can skip that stuff easy.
Yeah, now I've got enough of them to where I'm like, dude, I'm just going to start cherry picking. Everything. The Black Series. Just because, like, now I need that wall. It shares space with G.I. Joe. And more of those are coming in, and I'm army building in 4s and.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. Like, I see some people in the chat like that stuff. And look, I think it's all about what you like. Like, for me, I luck out when they do that stuff, because that means I can put my money into, like, something else, whether it's Hot Toys or Valaverse or whatever else I'm doing, outside of Hasbro. But yeah, everybody collects different stuff. I get that.
And that's cool,
Tremanium says, I have every Black Series figure and variant. I hate repaints at this point, but I get them all. I actually like the holiday figures, and that's fine. They're out there for somebody. They're not for me, because like I don't care about like the little fun stuff they try to do. Like whenever they came out with the Transformer, the Dracula figure, which was
skip that.
like I skipped that because I'm like I see what they're trying to do, or like any of the Ecto, or DeLorean, Transformer crossover and stuff. I'm like, no, Like it's cool. Like I like those two things. I don't want them together. You know.
Yeah, it's much
It's,
easier to
it's
skip stuff now, or
It's like
just get
food
the ones you
touching.
like. Because
yeah, or food touching, or it's I'm trying to think like I like asparagus, but I don't want asparagus flavored ice cream. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Vance Toyz is dishing it out. Yeah.
You gonna get all these?
I think
sport.
I kind of
Yeah.
admire the folks that are only into one thing though.
Yeah, me too.
Especially these days, it's hard for me because I grew up with a lot of that 80s stuff that was like off to the side of the mainstream stuff. Like if you're into Thundercats or Silverhawks or
Yeah.
any of that stuff that's just to the left or right of the main stuff
Mhm.
like Star Wars and Transformers and G.I. Joe. If you're into that stuff, it's tough. Like gargoyles, I'm sure that line is probably going to get deeper as we go, and I love gargoyles.
Yeah.
So it's tough if you're into a lot of different things. I grew up with the small Star Wars figures, so it's hard for me to give the vintage collection up. I got a Razor Crest coming soon, and I've been buying a lot of the small stuff, but I also get the 6-inch. So
Yeah.
to try to keep up with it, like Maddie said earlier, there is too much stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like they're coming out with twice as much stuff as they were 4 years ago, and they were coming out with a lot then. But I feel like now it's deeper, feels deeper.
To answer Josh's question, I have Vance Toyz Jazz on pre-order, as well as Aussie, and I have their Huffer.
Chrome rims.
Yeah, this is G2 here, which I'm passing on.
Tremanium says I'm down to 4 or 5 lines right now. Got it. How many do I even do?
And even that's hard to handle.
Yeah, I mean, I do the Marvel Legends, I do the Spider-Man and X-Men, Transformers, Masters of the Universe, Thundercats, Voltron, Overwatch with the Figma stuff. I do some of the PlayStation stuff. I have all the Beast sagas, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, some Hot Toys. I have all the DC animated, DC icons, all of them. And then I did the turtle. Well, I have the 3 different turtles, but I'm going to sell the video game ones. So there's a few things there, but some I don't have to collect anymore, like DC icons, DC Batman, animated, and Beast Saga. Like they don't make those anymore, So like they're complete. They're the best representations. I'm done. So I don't have to mess with that anymore.
That's nice. That's a good one there.
Maddie the Dentist, there has never been a time when so much new product is constantly coming out. They know they have what? They know they have a suckered. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they have a captive audience. Yeah, people want this stuff.
And I think for a lot of people, it's hard not being a completist. And I know, like, if you listen to us each year, we've kind of fallen out of that for the most part. I think all of us are cherry picking it some way, shape, or form, or we just don't get it, and time goes on and we almost forget about it, or we just like, oh man, I wish I got that. But it's so fast and furious that keeping up with it, I don't think you regret it too long. Only time you really regret it is when the prices go up and you're like, man, that one I could have had 2 of. But
Yeah.
I think it's so fast and furious with the releasing now that it just kind of comes by. And for me, like doing this show with you guys and talking, on Instagram with folks about figures, that helps me appreciate the figures a little bit more too.
Mhm.
Like if you don't stop and kind of check out what you got, and having like toy rooms definitely helps, to be able to still display some things and you don't take it for granted. But I kind of
Yeah.
with Maddie on that. I think has to be a limit, and I don't think there's going to be one. I think they're going to keep it up.
Well,
You have to set your own limit.
We were talking a couple of weeks ago, Rick, with the Thundercats. Like, Thundercats line, it started like with Mattel, and then
Yeah.
took a while with Super 7 or whatever. But now it's just now getting kicked off, and where we looked at the newest wave that it was like pre-order, and we were looking at it, was like Red Lino. When did that happen? Like I couldn't even remember. And like I'm recently, I'm in the middle of watching the original series right now again, and I haven't come across it. And I'm like, is this just a one-off episode thing where he becomes,
It's a double, evil double.
Like, I don't need that.
Nope.
And now I'm even looking at, like, I don't even remember Captain Cracker. I don't even need that guy either, but I already bought him,
Yeah.
Yeah, I skipped him.
Yeah, it's cherry picking for me. Like, I had Super 7 Muckman ordered along with Casey Jones and Donatello. And I forget what the other one was, but I ended up just getting Casey Jones and Donatello because at the end of the day, Muckman it's not like he's this amazing thing that I need. So he was an easy cancel. A lot of cherry picking.
Yeah, I got the same thing. Casey Jones and Donatello. I might get Gecko. It's in that wave too.
And I think, the older, I've been collecting a long time. I'm definitely the oldest. That I don't know another collector that's older than me. I'll be 50 this year. And some days I feel it and some days I don't. But I think as we get older, I think you're going to see more and more people not being completists because there is so much product out there right now. How can you be space-wise? I have a second house now that I'm putting stuff into. So, I really don't sell a whole lot. I sold a bunch of Sideshow premium statues. They're like 22 inches, tall at least minimum. I sold a bunch of those. So I don't have those anymore, but I don't really sell a lot of stuff. I know a lot of you guys kind of sell at shows and stuff, but I probably need to.
Oh,
but yeah, the
and,
older you get, the more you acquire.
recently, NECA had, because I am collecting like I had whatever it was, 3 figures made from their Toon line, the Turtles Toon line from NECA, and they had up where they were like, "Hey, it's the Mousers, and it's unlimited. Order as many as you want." And I'm like, like, if I ordered one, I would just want one box. But it was like I think 5 or 6 Mousers, and then like a few rats or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was like $40. And then I'm like, well, that's really expensive for that, But then it was, your tax, which, you're looking at another $5 there. So it's 45, and then it's $15 shipping. And so that's $60. And I'm like, $60 for some rats that I don't really need.
Yeah.
And 6 Mousers, and like 2 of them are torn apart, like supposed to be battle damage. I'm like, that's not a good deal. To me, like, I'm like, that sounds too expensive. Maybe if I was ordering several of them and it was the $15 flat shipping, but I'm like, I would just want one. And like, I passed it up. It was up for pre-order. They were like, it's not going to be in stores. It's only on this website for 2 weeks. And I was just like, whatever. Yeah. Like, because I went on the website and I'm like, I started adding it up, and I'm like, dude, you're basically wanting $10 a Mouser, and 2 of them are broken half, and we know that some of the ones that aren't supposed to be broken half are going to break in half. So I'm like, that's not a good deal, especially knowing that, like, if they do break, when they're not supposed to, like the ones, that are solid, not like kind of because they have some that are supposed to look like they're, been torn apart by the turtles or whatever. But, with their issues of just stuff breaking and them being so small and little legs, I was like, dude, that's a huge risk, and they're already overpriced. So
I like some of those pictures of that Mirage with the Insecticons and the Energon.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was looking at that. I'm like, that looks pretty cool.
Who's doing this?
this one is Newage.
Newage, oh, the little ones. They're really good little figures, but the prices for these things is just ridiculous.
I mean, it goes back in, price and
you can only collect.
Space.
so much stuff for so long. Yeah. The good news is if you're looking for like awesome action figures that are Transformers now and not just bricks, there are so many options. I mean, too many options.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool. He comes with those little birds. Or and I mean, even if you didn't want the newest stuff, you could probably go to some of those buy sell trade forums, and you know, I'm sure people would be selling off some part of their collection. Like, you know, like at one point, like I had the Transformer Prime line, and I think I had just about all of those. And I just sold them all. You know, I sold them for a good price. You know, just like here's bulk. You know, I'm not selling them individually. Take them all, and here's a good price for you. You know, because I don't want to ship out like 20, 30 different places and stuff. I was just like, no, one big sale, they're gone. You know, all of them. So, I've done that a few times, and you get some really good figures by doing it that way. So,
I think with the Transformers, for me, like I found that like, we talked about Rodimus, Studio Series 86 line. We talked about Hot Rod. We talked about all of the Studio Series we've kind of featured on Cybercast within the last, 2 years, and how good they are. I know some of us called them mini masterpieces. And I think what happened with me, as far as like third party masterpiece and even Takara masterpiece, and the reason I'm cherry picking so much now, a bunch of things happened. The quality control got worse. Then the main line, we started to appreciate it more because it got better. It leveled up the main line in the Studio Series 86.
Oh yeah.
And then all of the variety of choices for the third party got to a point where I didn't want to follow it anymore because I was into way too many things, and the time that it takes to just keep up with Transformers became too much. And I think that all three of those things was kind of my breaking point. And now for me, like, I collect the main line for the most part. I cherry pick a little bit here and there. And I like the Beast Wars stuff that they did. I picked all those up. But I'm cherry picking a lot more. The Generation Selects, I don't need them all anymore. I didn't pick up the Masterpiece Starscream. I didn't pick up Thundercracker. The longer I go with not picking them up, the more I realize I don't miss it.
It gets easier.
Because I already have it, right? I don't have all of the newer ones, but I have it at least 5 times over. And I'm getting very excited about. The other thing I will say is for Transformers, for me, the fiction I used to love more than meets the eye, and some of the stuff they were doing in the comics. But it's been about 3 years now since the comics were like really good, in my opinion. I don't watch the Cyberverse animated. I watched like a few episodes, but I didn't give it a real chance, and I just had no interest in it. There hasn't been a movie other than Bumblebee, which I did like. So for me, the fiction's not there. And the only fiction I'm interested in really is the old fiction I grew up with now, which was the animated movie, and that's why I bought Studio Series 86.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see like all those factors combined just means that I'm not into Transformers as I used to be. I could be again if something happens to kind of spark my interest, or all the things I used to love, I still love. I love my Unicron. He didn't make my list because I don't think I can put like a $500 item with a $20 item and put it on my list. But I like the Unicron. I find my interest wavering a little bit. That's all. But I might get back in it at some point. But
yeah, it happens.
All those factors just added up, I think. I love the mainline stuff, though. I mean, I worry about legacy. I've mentioned that when we looked at that for the first time. I worry that sometimes it takes about a year after one of the designers leaves the team or gets transferred off of the team. And I know, when Warden got transferred off and onto Power Rangers and some of the other stuff, I think we're going to start seeing, like, what happened after he left. And I'm not going to, I was a Warden fan. That era, I love the toys that we've gotten for Transformers the last few years. So we'll see what happens with Legacy. But I am worried.
Era.
I'm worried about it.
Dalton's favorite era, John Warden, because they're best friends.
I think Legacy is going to be hit or miss, depending on the figure.
They should be careful. But with no good fiction, if the people start, if the new mainline isn't as good as the last 10 years of mainline or 5 years of mainline, I worry about it a little bit.
Yeah.
When is this guy supposed to ship? I thought it was back in like November, December.
Yeah, I think some people may have gotten an import or something from somewhere. There's a few people that have it, but not like a majority or anything.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have mine, and I think I ordered this through BBTS.
Same here.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
There's
They
your
get
next
stuff
wave
blast.
of the Super 7 5 points of articulation. They have less articulation
The reactions
than the vintage.
Yeah.
toys.
Yeah.
Like we're taking steps backwards here, guys. And the price is higher.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sailors.
Yeah. But I like that, you can do different, ones with beers, different races and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's what I suggested a long time ago before they started doing the face swaps. Like years ago, I was like, Black Series, why don't you do this? And they finally started. They didn't credit me or anything. But
I like this one. This is a specific episode and a specific moment. I like some of the things that they're doing with reaction. When they do a figure that we've never gotten before, like the old man from that scene or whatever, from the cabin scene in the sled and all that. It's something that they haven't done in action figure form at all before. So I do like this one. I ordered this one.
You think Hasbro would have done this?
You want all those dogs.
And do like a Sunbow, Sunbow specific things. They haven't really done a whole lot of that. You can get they've done the radioactive Snake Eyes in a set before. I've got that one years ago, but
not like this.
They've never done the dude with his whole, sled and dogs or whatever.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Tremanium says, not trying to go off topic, but I have 58 pre-orders from BBTS I'm waiting for. Those bros don't ship. Are you talking about like, I'm trying to understand this. So you have 58 items in your pile loot that you've selected that you're wanting them to ship it and they haven't shipped it yet? Because it does take a few days. Or are you talking about like you have 58 things that are pre-ordered, but like, like maybe they don't come in for like a month or 2 months or something like that? Because they wouldn't be able to ship those then because they don't have them in. So
if he's talking about pre-orders, just to put it in perspective, I have 122 currently.
I have quite a few myself. I think like 5 pages worth, and then like I get multiples of everything.
Yep.
And then
I had
got a bunch
18
of
pages
slides.
worth yesterday. It's nuts.
Yeah, I got like 170 something items on pre-order. I need intervention.
Are you gonna get this helmet? I already have a fat head, and if this is built for a woman's head, then I wouldn't even be able to put this on. I can barely. I have to take out insides of the other ones so I can get my head on it. Under it.
No, I think it's awesome. And if I only collected the helmets, I would get this in a heartbeat because it's up there with my favorites.
It looks cool.
But no,
I
got the original Boba Fett helmet, and that's it so far. And if I didn't get this one, I can't remember if I have the new helmet on order. I probably will cancel it because I just don't have room for it.
Yeah.
But
take
I
up
do
quite a
like
bit
it.
of
I
room.
think the Bo-Katan helmet's awesome. But
I'm
can't
selling
get
my Poe
everything.
Dameron helmet if you want it. Because I started looking up there, I'm like, dude, I got to make room for Biker Scout, Scarif,
Oh yeah.
you know, AT-AT, and you know, just all different types of stuff. I'm like, I don't need a Poe Dameron helmet. So
I can't even remember what I've pre-ordered. Like, I hope I pre-ordered this vintage collection. I do want that. I'm excited for the Razor Crest. You know, if you listen to the top 20, you can kind of hear what we're excited about. But you know, the Razor Crest, I'm actually really excited about. I like a lot of the vintage collection Mandalorian figures that they've been doing, even like the Jawas and stuff like that. Like, it'll make for a nice scene, and you know, I like to put up like some vehicles and world building type stuff. I got the sail barge back there and some X-wings and the Cobra Terra drone. I like the world building stuff. To me, is part of, you know, why I like toys. So
dude, are you looking at that face? Is her like nose crooked? Like it?
I can't tell.
I don't. Her nose isn't crooked in real life. Like she's a good looking lady, you know. Like, but they didn't do her any
Usually,
justice
the
with
vintage
this
collection
figure.
stuff has been on par lately. Lately, it's looked as good as the Black Series. Like, they've
Yeah.
made
Yeah, I mean that's
leaps
a
and
picture of her right there. Like her
yeah.
nose is straight, right? Like she's a good looking
Could
lady.
just be the
Bro,
white.
Yeah, I think
bro, it's
so.
like going. It looks
Yeah, I
broken.
can't tell yet, but they've been pretty good.
Did you get the Cantina bar?
Yeah, I saw that. I think it just shipped. I feel like it just
Really?
shipped from BBTS. Yeah,
Looks good.
yeah, I like having the little play sets and stuff. I haven't put the Bespin chamber up, but I did. I have a little. I had a setup for the, what was it, the Tantive 4. I bought two. I think I bought two of those so I could, you know, click them together. But I don't keep it up on display. I just have it tucked away, and then we take it out when we want to play with it, you know. And I think we've got maybe 6 of those little troopers here now. So my kid and I both play with that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good, man. Yeah, they're coming up with a Black
That's a nice
Series,
one.
one of these two. They said this is a Battlefront 2 thing. Dude, I played the hell out of that game. I didn't remember
never saw
seeing
it.
this skin.
It looks cool. I mean, every once in a while they'll do something that, you know, is a game kind of thing that I don't know, and I'll pick it up. Most of the time I skip it, but this one I did order. I think I ordered 1 or 2 of them. Yeah, I like the look of this one.
Oh, I was gonna ask you guys this because Rick and I were talking about this right before we went on. I'm like, dude, like I've already got a few spots for figures on my top 20 of 2021, like solidified in there. Like Hot Toys Ahsoka, we thought we were gonna get it this last year. You know,
Yeah.
we haven't got it yet. Like, I guarantee you, she's going to be in my top 20. I might already put her in number 1. We haven't even got her yet.
Yeah, I'm
'cause
looking
so
forward to
excited
that.
for her. Here's another one because you were talking about, you know, got Razor's Crest like that. You know, so like there's 2 spots for you already, and then
Right.
Star Saber. I'm pretty sure he's going to be in my top 20.
Oh yeah, I want that one for sure.
Like I'm sure that we can name a couple more figures, and like a quarter of our list is already done. You know,
This is one of the figure that we're looking at here. It's one of the ones that broke BBTS's website that day. I don't know. I know you guys aren't as into the vintage collection as I am, but that day, BBTS's website broke for like, I think it was about an hour and a half. And it was because they got I can't remember if it was this one or the other one. There was one that was a BBTS exclusive, I believe, and that's what ended up breaking it. And it just goes to show you like how many people are still into 3 3/4 Star Wars figures.
Oh, I love
You
that
don't really
scale. Yeah.
you don't really think about it, right?
Yeah.
A whole lot, you know, but Yeah, man, their site broke. And look, I've been collecting BBTS since I think 2001 or 2, like 20, almost 20 years, or feels like 20 years. I've never seen their site break, but it broke. This was one of the other ones that came out that day.
Yeah, so there's they're like,
Troop
the
building,
Black
man.
Series, and like they're like he's the ARC Trooper from Battlefront
Yeah.
2. No, he's not. I played that game, dude. I've got like a few hundred hours in that game. This dude is. I don't think I've ever seen that skin unless they added him recently.
I see down there, Trumanium in the chat. He says he remembered that day when BBTS broke.
This originally a Walgreens exclusive very early on. It was one of the very first exclusives at Walgreens. So going to be reissued. So looks like it doesn't come with anything additional.
It's the same exact figure, like the same one from whenever it was, years ago.
Let's see.
I hope it's a new body.
That's crazy.
Where's my...
It doesn't look like it. It looks like the old one.
Oh.
I'm not getting that.
It looks exactly like
the
Walgreens exclusive. So
I mean, that's fine. I guess that's for new
got the gray stripe.
collectors.
I just looked there. It's got the gray stripe and everything. You think they would change like one little
one thing,
so that you could tell the difference.
Actually, yeah. It looks good, but I don't need it.
While we're talking about the Black Series stuff, has anybody seen the 212th Battalion Walgreens exclusive that was supposed to come out back in September?
And I've been through every one of them.
Anybody heard anything or seen anything about it? Is it still happening? Did they just...
Are you talking about the one where Walgreens was getting some, BBTS is getting some, or like they're spreading them around? Is that what you're talking about? No, I'm talking about like the different colors. There's like a blue, green, yellow, red. That what you're talking about?
It's the orange one. It's Obi-Wan's crew, like Cody's crew, the 212th. Walgreens was supposed to have it in September. It was actually a press release that went out that it was coming out at Walgreens, but it never happened. And I just was wondering if anybody, even in the chat, knows if that's still coming out. Is it still a Walgreens? I don't know.
Okay, so you're not talking about the Order 66.
No, 212.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but
the Order 66, they came in a 4-pack. And
this was from last September.
They were gonna reissue. Walgreens was getting some, and then BBTS has some up. But like I ended up canceling because I already have I bought 2 of the 4-packs. I haven't been online recently to see, but before they announced the reissues, like those 4-packs, if you had the box, they were going for like $600 for the 4-pack.
Yeah,
like
I see. Trumanium says says I heard it showed up in Walgreens warehouses in December. It should be coming soon. That makes sense.
At least we know it's still. I need Red Alert.
Same here.
We need 2 Red Alerts.
2 Red Alerts
from Walmart. Who was it? Who was it that said that they went to like 14 Walgreens or something? Like they are the okay, yeah, I'm talking about the archive line. Yeah, with the Order 66 guys. I haven't seen those either, but me and Sport, we each need a Red Alert.
We never got them here.
So
I've been looking for months now. Yeah.
The Archive 501st BBTS sent me the set, but not my true. So I ordered a set of 4, and they sent those, which included 1 of the 501st, but the other 3 I have on order. They have not fulfilled yet. Just putting that out there.
See, like this is what we were talking about, like cherry picking. Like I don't even know who that is.
These are newer characters. No. They've been around for a little while now, but they're newer characters like Vulcan and Darwin, and they're newer characters. They weren't in the they weren't even around when the animated '90s series came on.
Okay, yeah, because if it went around with the animated series or back when I was buying comic cards back then, then like I don't know, because that's what I was reading in their comics.
Yeah.
I do not need a 12th Wolverine, or like
Right.
I've already got a good Sabretooth, so like
I'm gonna
don't
get the
need.
Sabretooth. It's more like the first appearance, the thinner version. I do want Siren
And
too.
so yeah,
When are these coming out?
so this is the Siren.
Sometime this year.
Okay, that's good to know.
I thought that was supposed to be like Banshee or something.
It's Bench. That's Siren. It's his daughter, I think.
Okay. I mean that was the only one that I was even considering.
I need a Sabretooth, so I might get that one.
I don't know. It's a good face sculpt. I like the hair too.
Yeah, they got good female head sculpts. Are really awesome on Marvel Legends these days.
Yeah,
Last
except
few
for
years.
Invisible Woman.
And you've already got this.
Yeah, I didn't care for that one either.
Professor X, you already got him. What was he in the Juggernaut wave or something? But he has this like extra stuff behind him. I'm like, so you're gonna sell me the same figure again? Like this goes back to just sell the accessory packs.
Yeah.
I guess they think they'll make more money doing it this way.
Well, yeah, they keep selling us the same figures, and then like, hey, when we added another head, those are like even whenever I mean, and it's not just Hasbro and Mattel,
Right.
like it's Hot Toys too. Remember, I was like, I bought the Kylo Ren, and they're like, yeah, and here's another Kylo Ren, and he comes with the helmet off head. I'm like, well, I just sold me the head.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's that version. This version, you get helmet and unhelmet head. I'm like,
Yeah.
but I already have the full figure and all the stuff and spent $200 something. I just want the head. So this is supposed to be one
I
of the
bet
people
nobody. I bet
sewers.
hardly anybody knows who Maggot is. Maggot is super obscure, and it was back when Joe Madureira was all the rage. Because I love Joe Madureira, and I was following X-Men religiously at the time. But I bet 1 out of 10 people know who Maggot is. Maybe 1 out of 20.
Not me.
But I'm glad they're doing it for the people who. I mean, I'm going to pick it up because I think it's awesome. I can't believe he got an action figure, but most people don't know who that character is.
I remember having a card of this guy, but like I'm looking at him like,
Oh yeah.
I just had a few comic cards of him. Like I don't really care about him that much.
The Reavers. It's a cool group. I can't remember if they were in the cartoon. Maybe they were, but in the comics they were really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I forget who's all in, but again, it's one of the things where I'm like, I don't have to have, and plus because it's the tank, it's going to take up 2 character slots, on the shelf.
Yeah. See, for me, like I like and they're not only are they doing it, but they're giving him like multiple looks and stuff like that, and that's pretty cool. And I understand, like, it's the Wolverine stuff that we talked about. That's the stuff that bothers me. Like, I don't need if an artist comes onto the book and he's different from the other artists that have been going for 30 issues. I don't need every artist's interpretation of Wolverine. Just give me like the best 4 from the last 20 years, and I feel pretty good. We don't need one in every wave.
They did that. God, what was it? Well, hell, that's exactly what McFarlane's doing with Batman. Like he can't help himself but put a Batman in every single wave.
Yeah, like now he's what a lot of stuff that you guys thought he was doing that he wasn't though, but now he is. You're right. Now, at one point, you guys were thinking that all the Batman were the same guy, but it was the metal stuff is completely different from what he's doing now. Now he's starting to do that, like. It's Batman from Endless Winter, and he's got a winter coat on. It's Batman from, it's Joker from Killing Joke, but this one's different.
I'm looking at some of this stuff, and I'm like, McFarlane, I got to think you're making some of this stuff up, because I've never even heard of it before.
Right.
It's in the comics. Like even the hazmat suit, like all this, everything he's done is out there. It's just obscure. He's leaning on it too much now.
And I mean, you're talking to someone that collect the Batman the Dark Knight and Batman Returns toy line,
Oh yeah.
where it had all those different Batmans and like
Yeah, they
it
were
had
notorious
all
for
of
it.
them, and
Yeah.
Yeah, they were notorious. They had like
It's
camo
worse than
gold
that.
Batman, camo green, camo winter. I remember. I think the Marvel Legends, though, like if you look at the movieverse stuff that they've been doing, do you guys? I mean, I know for me, like I haven't always gotten the movie Marvel Legends. It's not something that I'm into every time. Do you guys feel like there's more sitting on the shelves now that people aren't interested in, though, as opposed to like 2 years ago? Like Eternals
Dude,
is everywhere.
let
Yeah.
me take a picture of the 4-foot section that is packed at Target of just Eternals. It
Yep.
is terrible. One, I've always been on I'm not buying movie figures. Like even Wolverine or Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Love the actor, love the character. It's a movie figure. I'm not buying it.
Yeah. Hey Maddie, I see the comments. Yeah, I was kind of a Joe Madureira super fan. I went to like when him and Tim Townsend were doing X-Men, I would follow them from con to con. I think I saw him like 6 times in a year. It's why Age of Apocalypse is one of my favorites. So I understand. It's cool to see at least one other person that was into that era. He was awesome, and he created Blink too, and always thought she was a cool X-Men character. But yeah, I feel like the Marvel Legends and the movie stuff, man, it's just I don't know anybody who's into it. I actually watched Eternals. I actually cut it off half. I did finish it in 2 sittings, but I did cut it off and wasn't very interested in it.
I can
did
watch
watch.
I can watch it for free. Is it even worth my time?
I wouldn't watch it. Honestly, I don't think I would suggest it to anyone.
No. Okay.
I just don't think I don't think you're interested. You would be interested in it.
No, because I'm not even interested in Doctor Strange and Iron Man and that stuff either.
Yeah, I like Doctor Strange stuff, but I didn't like Eternals.
Yeah, me too.
And I liked Shang-Chi for what it was, but
I watched that.
It's really
like,
hard. I think it's hard right now because look, Spider-Man I loved. I was grinning ear to ear the entire movie. I was like a child, like a teenager watching Spider-Man. I loved it. And I don't take some of that stuff as seriously as some people, but it was such a fun ride. But yeah, Maddie, AOA, man. But yeah, some of this I worry with Marvel. I thought their TV shows were pretty good. I dug all the TV stuff, but Shang-Chi, I just thought it was okay. And Eternals, I won't even suggest that Josh watch it. So
yeah, Shang-Chi was all right. I just have no desire for the toys.
Yeah, me neither.
You can see Lexington, Demona,
Yeah,
Brooklyn, Hudson.
This
is Brooklyn. This is no, this is Brooklyn. This is Bronx. Okay, yeah, it's been a while since I watched it.
Yeah, man, they look super good. Like we've talked about it before.
That's probably
Gargoyles,
all I'm buying, to be honest.
Huh? You're just gonna buy the main crew.
I'm
I remember
probably
what
just
we
gonna
talked
buy
about.
the main.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think, yeah.
I'll at least buy the main crew, but like I said, if they go deeper, I think I would stick with Gargoyles if they do them justice.
It's 183rd Predator, so.
Oh my God!
However many, yeah. So.
I know we always joked on the show multiple times about someone having like a Predator room with all 180 some. But there was something, I think was it on Instagram? I found a pic. There was somebody who actually, we joked about it. Someone actually had a Predator room. I found it. I saw it. Anyway, so it exists. We're not making it up. There's someone that actually has a Predator toy room, and it's just Predator. Pretty amazing.
A couple of new things for your Back to the Future NECA stuff. So
still doing this? Okay.
So yeah, there's the two there.
I like they're doing the Griff. That's pretty awesome.
Let me show you what's new here. Is Neutrinos. Hopefully that's a 3-pack. Usagi.
Yay!
So
Alright.
he's what I'm happy that I'm like, all right, get him, get me a Ray fillet, and like I'll be pretty happy, where it's at. So new stuff. Oh, okay, a Rock Soldier Infantryman. Dude, I'll probably pass on that. So Crooked Ninja Turtle Goon, probably pass on that too. Like talk about Razor. So pick those up. And that's about it that they tease that's going to be new on this. So, yeah, like you always the Neca Twitter is always like people are like, "Man, Neca, you're dropping bombs." I'm like what's the real good character that they're dropping? Like you saw it, and then I'm like, what? Rock Soldier Infantryman? Like what's the other thing? Neutrinos? No. Usagi's the only one to really get excited about.
I'm glad that looking at that checklist makes my head hurt. I'm glad I'm
Yeah.
not getting those. I'm glad I'm not
Dude.
buying that stuff.
Dude, this one's even worse. And this I'm selling all my video game turtles, by the way, at Mike's Con. So new one for this is this colored foot soldier. What is he, pink or something? A green one.
Wow.
Do they have these or no? Okay, so video game versions of these. They have them in cartoon already. So these will be video game versions. These two rock guys. And for comic, the Mousers will be maybe not. Okay, so this thing, and then Fugitoid right here is just your regular release. Everything else is freaking exclusive on this thing. So, Darkseid. This is a Beast Kingdom. I believe it's 9 inches tall because he's that weird it's a 1/9 scale or some weird thing. But looks pretty awesome. And be at 9 inches. You could put them with your 6-inch stuff. You think it looks better than is it the Mezco that you have?
Yeah, it's a different era. Like, in fact, all three are a little bit different looking. Like, I think you and I both have what's the DC line that was a little bit smaller, but
I
he
have
was huge.
the icon, dude.
Yeah.
And you cannot find that sucker on eBay. I have no idea how much that thing would go for because all the icons, and animated stuff, dude, the prices have skyrocketed. They're stupid expensive, and I'm like, I wonder how much the dark side is, because I
don't know.
A lot of people
him,
pass
though.
on them. You can't even find them on eBay anywhere.
Him and the Mezco one are the two that I have now, and I like both of them, like for different reasons.
Yeah, I like the shoulder pads too on the.
Yeah, he looks good. Yeah, if I didn't have one at all, I'd definitely get that one.
All right, quite a bit of McFarlane. So
that's Endless Winter, and it's got the Build-A-Figure for I forget his name. It's just it was a storyline one that was just okay. It's from last year. It was nothing to write home about, and I'm really surprised that he's been doing like a mixture of current storylines, and this storyline, I'm not getting it. And you guys know I like a lot of that stuff, but I'm not crazy about the Black Adam sculpt. I thought it was just okay.
You're not gonna do it to get that Frost King Build-A-Figure?
No, I think he looks good, but again, he's a nobody. You know what I mean? Like even in the current scheme of things, he just doesn't. It's nothing that I need. And I'm not like I said, the Black Adam I would be interested in, but I don't like the head sculpt. So
no, it's got some eyeshadow.
I'm gonna skip it. I'm just not crazy about it. That's the thing. Like if I'm not crazy about it, I'm not buying it. We're gonna hear that a lot as we go through. And that the John Stewart is mainly a repaint.
Yep. I mean, love the character.
Me too.
Yeah, already
Black Adam too. Yeah. But I don't like
I think
the way McFarlane does his figures, and they're 7-inch.
the sword, and that's it. I think the sword might be the only. I can't tell if the head sculpt is different, but he just happened to be in the storyline. And this one's similar to something else that we've gotten recently.
Yeah, because they came out with whenever I first saw it, I'm like, didn't they just release this? Like, she's in stores right now, and I'm like, wait, no, it's different because like you can see she's showing some thigh on the one that's currently out.
Yeah, this storyline was going on last. I think it was like last December, maybe. It's not that old, maybe a year old.
Trumanium asked, "Do you guys collect the McFarlane Warhammer 40,000 figures?" I don't. I don't think any of us do.
Just the Spawn and the DC stuff. I do some of that. That's about it.
This is your exclusive.
This is recent. That's from the first part of 2021. That's pretty recent, but a little different from the other one that came out.
And there's another version that's going to be in the next tab, but this one's unmasked.
That one's from Infinite Frontier.
All right, have you finished Young Justice yet?
You know what? I haven't. Like whatever the new one is, I haven't. Is it Phantoms? I haven't watched it. I have not watched that yet.
I'm only like 5 episodes in. Like it hasn't hooked me like the other ones were. Like as soon as you started, and you're like you start, all right, get going the second episode, and then it was just like, dude, I'm not going to bed until I've watched.
Yeah, that's how it used to be anyway. Yeah,
dude, I'm 5 episodes, and that was like I started watching it like a week or so ago, and I'm just like, dude, I'm watching other stuff. Like it hasn't hooked me this season, hasn't.
I have to start it at some point. Yeah, so you said there's 2 versions, the unmasked and the masked version. For this
one's better than the exclusive one.
Yeah, I like the masked version more, and that's Rebirth Batman from a few years ago. He's an easy one to tell who it is too, because he has the gold outline around the symbol. You always know that's the Rebirth version of Batman.
There's Poop Face.
Clayface.
He doesn't look too good to me.
I do have one of McFarlane's DC figures, Gorilla Grodd.
Oh yeah, he's from the Injustice game, right?
Yeah, but he looks good, man.
He looks good. He's a good looking figure.
Oh, you can see some.
Yeah, this one is not my favorite version.
See the faces?
I mean,
and the hands.
There's like 5 or 6 different versions of Clayface, and there's also been quite a few different Clayfaces. I don't feel like this one is the best one, but I see why he's doing it. It's one of the more recent ones. I'm skipping
the Superman faces. Ugh.
I'm not crazy about his versions of the Dark Knight Returns kind of stuff and look. I'm not crazy about his versions.
Why on earth would you have armor and then have these big gaps right here? Dude, I can't get behind the McFarlane DC stuff, man.
It's another one that's
they phased out the DC collectibles.
And this one, if you think about it too, if you don't buy the comics, this line isn't really for you. Think about it. Almost, I'd say 99% that they're doing when they show it. Like I'm the only one on the show that reads DC constantly. No one else is going to know. I don't know. I wonder how many units he's selling of a lot of these lines. I'd like to see like how well he must. I assume he's doing well. If they, the contract's there and he's cranking these, I feel like he's cranking out. He probably had 50 of his own figures this year, didn't he? At least.
I'm seeing a lot of these on the shelf, and like Target, for some reason, they have them in like 3 different areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But they sell.
He's cranking out like a ton of figures, man.
I mean, there not a lot of them selling.
Yeah, I feel like I'm hoping that this is the year that we get like I wouldn't mind having like a classic comic Black Canary and Green Arrow, or like just some of the like a classic comic Bane, a classic comic
Yeah.
Riddler,
Mhm.
stuff like that. Or even if he's like, oh, I'm going to do a whole wave of like Mafex has been doing the Hush Batman figures, and I freaking love them. God,
Yeah.
like I really love them. But I'd like to
Please
see
do
like
the
Kim
Hush.
McFarlane
Yeah.
do Hush. I don't know, but
I would love for them to do the Hush. Yeah.
I canceled my pre-order on that Huntress. I'm thinking about pre-ordering it again. I think whenever it comes out, then I'll probably just buy it straight up. But you know which one I'm talking about, right?
yeah, I haven't pre-ordered
Is
it,
it
but I needed to. I
Mexico?
just haven't done it yet, but I probably should. Yeah. I got the Joker over
I wish you
probably
would
in
come with
December.
more stuff. I started looking at it. And this Martian Manhunter looks terrible to me.
Yeah, what's he? I
Yeah.
can't remember. Does it say what storyline he's from that card or something? Whatever they showed. It's
Justice
not the
League of America.
It's not quite the classic version. It's a little different. He'll probably sell just like Dr. Fate sold because no one has he hasn't done one yet. But I don't think he's like the classic version that some people will remember.
Yeah. See,
He's going by artist by
this thing's
artist.
hideous.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the one that had all the memes and stuff about a week ago or so. Because I think they revealed it and they didn't show the mask, and then they showed the bike, and then after that they came out with a picture that there's a mask that comes with the figure. But by then it was too late. Like it had a million memes and stuff out. At least.
Oh my god. Bike's cool.
There you go.
There it is. Got that Beetlejuice head thing.
Yikes.
Little
Yeah.
guy. The shrunken head. So this one to me is a cop out unless you have the female ink head somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like this is supposed to be ink from Batman Beyond, but
Look what Manny just wrote off about the Batman.
Yeah, you should.
I'm
already
gonna army build this guy.
There should be plenty on the shelf. He won't be hard to find.
It'll be like the Black Series. Who was it? Was it Entertainment Earth that did like a dozen roses for Valentine's Day because no one was buying the rose character?
That sounds right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was you could get a dozen 6-inch rose characters for $12.
That's pretty awesome.
They were like, "We can't. We're trying to unload this. We just have to make it a meme." Or what? God, stuff always falling over, man.
That's good.
You can't have nothing nice. Yeah, so
Wow.
at least that's a nice face sculpt. So, like,
Yeah.
you've shown me that you can do nice face sculpts. You did that.
Yeah, I like a lot of the face
guy.
sculpts.
Like Jesus, he looked like he got hit by a truck. Maybe that's after a huge fight or something.
Oh, like the puffy, weird face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I can think of is like maybe that scene is like after like the Punisher whenever he comes in and his face is all destroyed, looks like hamburger meat.
It's hard to do like an action figure with like a puffy coat on. You look like Christmas Story boy or whatever walking. You know, like it's hard to do an action figure when you're wearing like a puffy coat. Might want to skip that one.
Trumanium says I actually bought the dozen roses off. My wife was pissed. Why you bought them for her? She probably, I mean, unless she's a fan of Star Wars, she probably didn't understand the meme, but. Like. And you're getting a Titan Joker from the game. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
like
not.
you already got this. Redoing the Spawn, brighter reds. Yeah, a little bit different for the video game. Yamaguchi. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but
You got it. The amazing Yamaguchi. The cape is a deal breaker.
because it's not wired and it's
Plastic.
the 2-piece,
3-piece,
and like broken up.
Mm-hmm. They haven't learned.
Yeah, I don't need this. I got my Mafex. I think I'm going to get a Mezco Superman as well. I saw one that I liked earlier this year and put it on pre-order.
God,
just to
all
go with
those
the dark
heads.
stuff.
And then, let's see, Mafex.
Oh, wow.
I'm doing the Hot Toys version of this one. I need that one. I need him and Cyborg to complete my Zack Snyder shelf. I mean, I would like for them to go and do the future Joker too with the long hair and stuff. But I doubt they will. Who knows? Maybe they will. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know if this is rumor or whatever, but someone had posted that like Robert Patterson, not really sure how to say his name, that he was done with the Batman because they cut like an hour and a half or something.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yep.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Like I'd like to know how true that is. Like so he's just they're trying to reboot. Is he just doing a one and done, and then they have to find another Batman again?
Sounds like Warner Brothers. I mean, doesn't it sound like the usual Warner Brothers stuff that happens? They always have all these people with their hands in the cookie jar. They won't leave it alone.
They cannot get out of their way.
Yeah.
They're the worst. That's like anyway. Yeah, I don't want to compare it to football right now, but because I don't want any bad.
And that's kind of sad because look how well Marvel Studios did with building up the Avengers and all that. Those movies, for the most part,
they're like the cohesive. Chargers.
Yeah.
Rick, they're like the Chargers.
The best quarterback on the planet. Looks like like the best quarterback that we would have grown up with, like an 80s, 90s, late 70s even quarterback. Like this amazing quarterback, but they keep getting in their own god freaking way. No, yeah. If you imagine being a Chargers fan right now.
God, and before that you had Phillip Rivers, and before that you had Drew Brees for a while. Like, you got Herbert. Like,
dude,
God,
yeah.
And every year there's people that predict them to win the Super Bowl. Every year I'm listening to these people. I swear for 27 years. There's these same people that predict the chart. Well, this is the year. I'm like, you sound like freaking Cowboys fans, dude.
Yeah,
I'm a Cowboys fan. I know insane people when I hear them.
Like New York
Warner
Jets
Brothers
fans.
is the worst.
Yeah.
I wish Warner Brothers would stop because I love their. It's hard because I love their properties. I love their heroes, so it's tough.
What is the latest movie? The Matrix. Like, Jesus, that movie was terrible.
That was really bad. Really bad.
The Raiders, baby. Oh, I haven't. I had to leave at like halftime. I haven't watched that game yet, but I can already assume what's going to happen.
Maddie, see, I wasn't
yeah, like the
Maddie.
Browns.
I wasn't gonna even bring up the Browns. I was gonna leave it alone.
I
saw
was, but I chickened out.
I saw your stab about my Pittsburgh Cup, but I wasn't gonna bring them up. Look, I've had 18 good years with my Steelers. As a football fan, I feel like I can't complain. You know, I just don't have anything to say about it.
It reminds me of like the Patriot fans because when last year and they're like, "This is the worst," and I'm like, "You've been freaking dominant for like 20 years ever since you had Tom." Let me tell you, because they're young Patriot fans. They're like, "Well, we have ever known is winning." I'm like, then you're not over 25 years old because before Tom Brady got there, your team was garbage. It's in forever. Like since its beginning, the Patriots have been terrible. And then Tom Brady got there, and then you are dominant. So like you can definitely tell the age of a Patriot fan if they're like, I've only known winning. It's like, okay, you're no older than 25.
You're just a puppy, yeah.
This is the Entertainment Earth exclusive, by the way. Glow in the dark.
That's the glow in the dark. Yeah. I didn't get that, but I appreciate it. I think it's cool.
I got the regular one.
Oh, going on to Hot Toys.
Dude,
Cat's getting smoked right now. Dude, I bet they are.
I would like to. This is another one where I'd like to see how many units of this is sold, because fool me once, fool me twice. Even if I was into this, first of all, there's like 20 Eternals. It seems like. Look, I learned a long time ago. You're not going to do the only time they've ever done like the whole team, and they're just about to finish it up, is Avengers Endgame. They have almost done like Mantis that they have not put out yet. There's just a few. I feel like they heard me at some point and they decided, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do all 50 of them. Like we're even going to do the Pegasus horse that what's her face is on. We're going to do everybody. But who's buying this? They're never going to make the rest of them because she's not going to sell well enough for them to make it. But I know why they made her over the others. I totally get it.
Yeah, because she sells on
the
actress alone.
Pop culture.
Like you want to see the numbers on this stuff, just like you want to see the numbers and salaries for your team.
Right?
Because like if I'm watching Ezekiel Elliott and then I'm like, oh, what are they paying? I'm like, oh, they're only paying him like league minimum, and I'm like, okay, trying to let it. But you go and you're like, oh, you're paying him $15 million, dude gets 40 yards, and like averaging like 2-point-something yards. And Tony Pollard, like I argue with people are like, yeah, you got to feed Zeke, and I'm like, Tony Pollard is got the highest rushing average, and he's backing up. Like, he's our best running back. Yeah.
Sometimes, and look, ahead of time, like if you think about it, I don't blame Hot Toys. Like Hot Toys is going into this. Look how many figures they've made, and look how many unbelievable Marvel movies they've made that have made great money and sold a lot of product. So going into Eternals and even Shang-Chi for you got to plan ahead. By the time they've planned ahead and started the sculpt and bought, they bought the license and they're working on the product, they don't expect it to be kind of lackluster. That's not what they're used to. So I understand why they did it, but at this point, are you really going to buy one Eternal? I don't know. Maybe pulp culture wise, she's worth it because it's Angelina Jolie, but
right.
I don't know, man.
This right here is the reissue. Have they made a Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman one?
No, not a Hot Toy.
Why don't I have that figure?
It's beyond me, dude. I'd buy that in a heartbeat. And I'd buy Penguin as well.
Like, I ask for these things. Like, forever, I'm like, hey, give us Ahsoka, please give us Ahsoka. And Black
Series
finally, and Hot Toy. They finally get it, and then like everyone's like, yeah, they're like, eating it up. They love it. And again, I'm going like Catwoman. I'm like, Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. Where's it at?
Let's hope
do you want free money?
Yeah.
Do you want free money?
And
Also, the '89 Batmobile, like reissue it again.
yeah,
I know
they should
you'll have
reissue
to make
that.
the price higher, but like, hey, it's free money.
Look, would you buy for the Catwoman? Would you buy a deluxe that it comes with two of them? Like, would you buy like that double pack that comes with the clean version and the one that's beat up with her hair coming out of the top of the mask and all
Yes.
messed up? Yeah, me too. A double pack. So what we're telling you is, and it would be over $400 to do that, but I would want that. That's a beloved movie, man.
Well, we don't know how she is in terms of licensing her likeness.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen other people do her recently, not too long ago. So I don't know.
Neca
I would
did
rephrase that. But
How did Neca get it? Hot Toys would.
Yeah, I would love a Hot Toys 1/6. That would be amazing.
Or a 1-to-1.
1-to-1.
Yeah. Yes.
To go with my Black Widow 1-to-1.
Yeah, that's what my uncle asked me one time. He goes, I was like, yeah, you get these on 1/6 scales. He goes, they make them any 1/1 scale. I was like, actually. He goes, they make a Black Widow 1/1 scale. He goes, you let me know.
Yeah.
Accessories there. There you go. Will Dakota get this?
I need to pre-order this. I still haven't pre-ordered it, and I need to. Been buying a lot of stuff recently.
Yeah.
Usually, I think they're usually about 30. I think they're about $30 down to put the pre-order in. It's non-refundable.
I have the afternoon game. You have the night game, right?
What tomorrow? Yeah, I have the our
is.
game is like 8:15. I'm so glad I have Monday off. My kid is it's rough because my kid is like really into like I was into football when I was a kid, but not nearly as much as my kid is. I don't know if I caused it or like just the school he's going to and like his friends, but my kid is obsessed with football. I've never seen anything like it. Like that, he likes wrestling too, but like he is so excited. He's like, Dad, you think they're going to the Super Bowl? And I have to be in my head, I'm like, no.
We'll see.
But I try to be like supportive and hopeful without being too like, I try to be, but man, at the end of the day, I'm like, dude, he's gonna be so. Even my wife was like, he's gonna be so let down tomorrow, and I'm like, I don't know, like any given Sunday is what they say, but the stats are against him.
They need to let Big Ben hit up the college bars tonight, so he can just get every last bit of his mojo back, and then just baby snake it, just like give it all every bit of it you got, don't put any in reserve.
Tomorrow's going to be a good day. I don't win or lose like our game, but even the other game, I'm looking forward to watching football most of the day tomorrow.
I already know how it's going to end up.
Well, I figure
San Francisco runs the ball. We don't stop the run. They can stop the run, and then we're going to force Zeke Elliott. And Zeke Elliott's going to first guy tackle. And then Dak, he's going to throw behind people like low or high. Like it's never like out in front where they can catch it and run. It's always behind.
Yeah,
it's like he's responsible for Michael Gallup's injury because Michael Gallup had to do some weird 360 in the air and then landed weird and then tore his ACL.
That's the worst.
I was like, because he had to be some acrobat because the ball wasn't thrown in the correct place. And Michael Gallup, it was a contract year too. His contract's up to the end of this year.
Not good.
So yeah, that sucks.
I feel like is this the third time they've done the Mark IV gantry? I mean, I've got one from
this
it's been
a quarter
decade.
scale too.
Oh, okay, it's quarter. Jesus, that's a big boy then.
Yeah, dude, this
because the gantry's huge.
This is like what, like Snake Mountain size?
Yeah, it'll be
Wow.
at least that big because the small one takes up a decent amount of room.
Illmatic, you say you live in Dallas. Let's go Cowboys, dude. I'm gonna cheer for them. But I'm a realistic fan. You know, like I see something and I call it. You know. Also, here's another thing, Illmatic. Connor Williams, holding calls. I want him to take Connor Williams out and just put in McGovern. I'm tired of the holding calls. And it's always on like third down, convert, and then it's like, hey, Connor Williams, number 52, fucking holding call again.
Dude, I feel your pain. I was telling my wife yesterday, and not my kid really, but because he's so hopeful and into it. I was telling my wife that my prediction for tomorrow isn't as much about just getting stomped. It's about us just getting flags at the worst time and just hurting ourselves. We like to hurt ourselves at the worst moments. Sometimes it's a bad call or sometimes it's a questionable call at a weird time, but we this season love to hurt ourselves. We love like flags at the worst possible time, when you're like 4th and 1 and you get that penalty and then all of a sudden it's 4th and 16. It's weird. It's weird stuff, dude. That's how we hurt ourselves more that way than anything.
Ours is we're gonna force Zeke the ball, even though Tony Pollard's a better running back. Connor Williams is gonna get holding calls. Dak is gonna throw behind receivers to where they have to reach back and catch it to fall down. They can't run with the ball, so that pisses me off. And Greg Zuerlein, why is he still a kicker in this league? Every game, I think there was one game this season where he made all field goals and extra points. All the other games this season, he's either missed at least one field goal or one extra point. Illmatic, tell me I'm wrong. Greg Zuerlein. Let's see. Mandy says, I don't think the Squealers will get stomped. I think it's going to be closer than you think. Matty the Dinner says
I hope
Raiders.
it's a good win or lose. I hope it's a good game. That's about tomorrow.
Terrible.
I hope both games are like really good games. That's all I hope for.
Now
for
the
everybody.
Chiefs are my AFC team because they got Patrick Mahomes and he grew up 5 minutes down the road from me. So
yeah.
So he's our hometown boy. But dude, my mom, like, we watch Patrick Mahomes, because high school and watching to college, and and it was like we want him for the Cowboys, and so I'm like, yeah, but that's not gonna happen because they just signed him for like 10 years or something like that. There's no trade, and then we signed Dak. He's like, yeah, but maybe they'll want Dak and they'll give us Mahomes. I'm like, they're not gonna do that. There's no way they did that. So, yeah, Greg Gillette, God, it pisses me off, and it just extra points, point after attempts. You missed that. Like, that's your only job is kicking. Like, you don't worry about anything else. It's kicking. It's like if the long snapper just chunked it over the kicker's head every single time. Like, you only have one job. You're not even a regular center. You just long snap. You come in the game maybe 5 times. Other than that, you sit on the side. We should just do our own sports podcast show. Because I feel like I can just ramble on about this stuff because I consume sports maybe even more than action figures and stuff like that. He's cost them a couple of games this year. They need Boswell.
Hey, Tomlin, I promise you, Tomlin takes Boswell out for surf and turf before every game because he leans on that. He's been leaning on it for how long he's been there. How long has Tomlin been there? 12 years? Something like that.
He's one of the longest tenured coaches.
Yeah. So. Him and Boswell, I know they do surf and turf together. They extended family.
Dude, there are certain things that I can call like in every game before it even starts. Like Mike McCarthy, he's going to have like some weird time management thing that he does something that's stupid or like, hey, we can just get off the field. They're willing to, take a knee and whatever, and he'll just like call timeout. And then they're like, okay, well then we're gonna go. Basically, pull a Chargers did against the Raiders. Like they were both willing to like just take their knee and get the tie, and both of them go to the playoffs, and the Steelers go home. But they were like, no, we want you to beat us. And then the Raiders were like, all right,
Yeah.
So, but like Mike McCarthy, he's gonna do some stupid that. Also, Andy Reid, his challenge percentage has got to be under 10%. Like I remember whenever he was with Philly, I just watch it. I see that challenge flag come out, and I'm like, I already know they're gonna lose this because this, like, and he hasn't improved. Like he's just terrible at challenges. Let's see. We got waste of a timeout. McCarthy is horrendous with time management. It's bad. It's really bad. So, anyways, we've been going on for a little over 2 hours there. You guys like talking football and sports after we get done with the shows? Maybe we'll start doing that. If that's something you guys want to hang out, and do, then we can start doing that. After we get all done. So I'm down for that if everyone else is. And one last thing. You saw where before the week I was like, hey, just because I didn't want to schedule this and say, hey, we're doing it, but I didn't want to do it like if one of our teams was playing, because I know we'd want to watch our teams in the playoffs. So I was like, hey, Mike, or Rick, what times Steelers playing this? Okay, mine. Okay, so hey, Mike, Dakota, what time do Broncos and Saints play? And then Mike actually replied, he was like, my team didn't make the playoffs. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Just rough.
Oh, man. Ouch.
Just rough.
All right, guys. Have a good one. We'll do outros. Rick, where can people find you, man?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram as Shatrdglassjazz.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram as Sportimus Prime, and on YouTube as Sportimus.
And you can find me on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at G1Hexatron. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. We'll be back in a couple of weeks, unless one of our teams is playing in the playoffs still.
Yeah,
Probably
we'll
not.
see.
Caveat there.
Could be if it's Cowboys versus Steelers, we need to do something special. We need to do like some kind of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That would be classic '80s.
I mean,
rivalry.
well, that'd be Super Bowl. To do that.
If it ever happened, that would be pretty amazing. But
do live stream it.
Yeah.
So, or not live stream, but we could do a watch party.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So, all right, yeah. Matty Dennis, go boys, go Steelers. Hey, let's go Browns too. Rooting for them. So,
yeah.
Browns.
All right, later, guys.
Later.